And for a check of traffic at this hour, it looks like right now you have a problem for southbound 270 drivers. The two right lanes are blocked. That looks like right at Manchester. Some delays expected there for at least a while. Weather is sponsored by Sandberg Phoenix Law Firm.
For the middle of November, it is a delightful afternoon. And guess what? It's only going to get warmer. Partly sunny skies and nice today, 65 for the high. It does not cool off very quickly this evening, and it's not too bad overnight. Partly cloudy, 52 for the overnight low. Wow. Friday, mostly sunny and wonderful, 75 for the high, the record 81. So I think that's going to be safe. Friday night, partly cloudy. We only go down to 60. Saturday, sunny and 78. Records 81 from 1971 on Saturday. Close. Sunday, partly sunny, maybe a spot shower, but it's cooler, 62. Still easy to take. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM. KMOX.
64 in St. Peter, 65 in Florissant, 65 downtown at the Arch. I'm Maria Kina, KMOX News.
At Sandberg Phoenix, we're more than just a law firm. Our attorneys are committed to you, your business, and your community. We are ready to serve you in the areas of business litigation, intellectual property, health law, and products liability. SandbergPhoenix.com. The choice of lawyers and important decisions should not be based solely on advertising.
The Dave Glover Show is sponsored by the Michaels Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts. IGotFloored.com.
Good afternoon, St. Louis. DGS 104.1 FM KMOX. Happy Thursday. Happy Friday Eve. A few minutes past 1 p.m. How's everybody?
Bueno.
Good. Good. Rachel, especially pretty today.
Thank you, Dave. That's very nice.
Is that a mock turtleneck you're working there?
Yeah, I don't really go full turtleneck. I don't like...
It's a commitment.
It's too much. It makes me feel too warm.
I'm not talking about the look. I'm just saying I don't like how it feels.
Oh, yeah. I love the look. I wish I could wear them like a big, chunky turtleneck sweater. Absolutely. But I've got to go mock neck.
I was a big turtleneck kid when I was little.
They were a thing.
Yeah.
Like they were really super common.
Uh-huh.
And I remember for a time, I never liked the feel, but I always thought they looked cool.
Yeah.
Just, I don't know. I don't like getting stuff on my neck.
I was also a big mock turtleneck guy back in the 90s.
Oh?
That was a look.
Yeah, the little, yeah. Yeah, those are better. But give me no collar, no neck, no nothing.
I realized something last night when I was driving home. So I pull out of here and I go west on Olive up to Jefferson. The dumbest people in the world are driving on Olive between Tucker and Jefferson at about 5 p.m. If you're a scientist and you're looking to do a study of dumb people, just go there at that time. You will find them. This isn't going to be another like, St. Louis, what happened to it? I used to have to wait in line for lunch. It's just on that stretch of road last night and every night. And you guys know this is true. The people out there in the hinterlands are probably like, you're exaggerating. People just stop in the middle of Olive, which is a big wide street, in the middle, not on the right, in the middle, without their hazards on, so they can let someone out.
Yep.
So they'll just just jaywalk across. And it's your problem, not their problem, your problem. Yeah.
Well, sometimes they do use their hazards, and that actually makes me more mad because that's not what the hazard lights are.
It's
for.
not a magic,
No.
a magic
it doesn't
blinker.
mean you get to park in the middle of the
Right.
street. It means like there's an issue. Everyone else should be on high alert. Fine. But the whole I'm just going to stop right here.
There's a whole ass
It drives
side of
me
the road there
crazy.
too. Like you could pull off to the curb.
And here's the thing. If you're side by side with a car and you're in the left lane and they're in the right lane, there is every chance in the world that they're going to pull in front of you and do a U-turn.
Oh my God! Yeah,
Every chance in the world.
Yeah.
That is not uncommon, right?
Yeah.
Right, Andrew? Am
Yeah,
I
very much.
lying?
No,
No,
it's
that's
super
how.
common.
That's
Yeah.
Last night, somebody just fully ran, did not even try and stop at a stoplight downtown when I was with Megan, and she never comes downtown. Really, doesn't have a reason to. So she's like, okay, wow, I guess we're just doing this now. And I was like, yeah, is it your first day? This is like
Welcome to the world.
yeah, this is like, you see this multiple times every day.
Yeah.
Dude, I pulled in today, so I'm coming down because I came off at 14th Street on 40. Came down to 13th Street because I like that little back way there. It's pretty quick. Right at the intersection of 13th and Olive, where I have to turn right onto Olive to pull into our garage. There's a guy in a junk truck. And it's just a pickup truck loaded with junk. And he's like stopped at the corner. No blinkers, no nothing. And he's just like waving me forward.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're telling me to come into oncoming traffic. So
Right.
if somebody turns right there, they're going to hit me.
Yeah.
And yeah, I did roll down the window and yell at that guy.
Good.
I'm like, you can't. There are 10 parking spots literally there across from the front door of this building that you could have just pulled into any one of those spots. Why do you think you're okay just stopping in a full ass lane of traffic?
You know where everyone's favorite place to do that is too? Right in front of the police station.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's where I see it every day.
Oh, yeah.
Someone just
Yeah.
stops in the middle of
Oh,
Olive right in
I
front of the police
know.
station. I
Yeah.
guess so they can get out and go into
It's
they
so
have some
true.
business
I don't know,
there.
but dude,
It's
I'm
so
like,
true.
This seems like the last place you would want to do that.
let me
but-
hook you up though, Dave.
Huh.
I'm going to hook you up. You're going the wrong way to get to 40.
Okay.
You need to go Tucker to Clark, turn right on
Yeah.
Clark, jump right on there. It's way faster.
Okay.
It
You'll
is
never
hard.
have
Try
to.
that tonight.
That whole run from going down to Jefferson
Yeah,
is
yeah.
nonsense.
All right. I'll try that.
You'll be on the highway in 4 minutes.
So that kind of leads me to a ruling. Last night I had happy hour with Trish and Susan L. Ward, and I was right by WashU on Forest Park Parkway. And at that time of night, it's stacked. I mean, just stacked.
Yeah.
You know, 2 lanes,
Mhm.
probably 20, 30 cars deep. You're not getting through on the first go around. And it's dark, right? After 5, it's dark. And there was a homeless guy with this little cardboard sign walking in the middle of the 2 lanes after dark. It just, and like, you don't see him until he's right up on you.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So any number of things could happen.
Yeah.
And I was probably 10 cars back. And when he got right past me, and no one was rolling their window down, when he got right past me, someone honked at him. And he yelled at him, and then everyone started honking at the guy.
Mm.
And it was just really interesting. Like, the way I interpreted it was one person had the guts to go, hey, this is not okay. Not only could you get hurt, but even more important, if I'm the one who you end up getting hit by my car, my life's over. And all I'm doing is just going home, right?
Mm.
So do you think that I didn't honk, but I was like, yeah, get him. Like, do you think that was mean? Do you think it was just understandable?
I don't think honking is ever mean. Like, it's a little, like, there are times if someone's like over honking and nothing,
Yeah,
there's a
there
little
are
bit of like, all
different-
right. slow
There are
down.
definitely varieties of honk.
This was like,
Right? You got the meep meep. That's
F you
kind
honk.
of yeah. Those hey, they're needed sometimes.
Well, you know, I think we all believe in treating people with compassion. However, when you are standing in the middle of the road, putting yourself and others in danger, and when you're going up, and what I really don't like is when people tap on my window. I'm like, please, it makes me feel very uncomfortable, especially as a woman alone in my car. Like when a man comes up and taps on my window, I'm like, no, you got to
Yeah,
get
don't
away
blame
from
you.
my car.
Yeah.
You have to understand why people would be uncomfortable with this situation.
totally agree. Okay, that's all I had.
There you go.
Me
All right,
too.
good
That's
day,
all
good
I
day.
had too.
For the whole day.
Now you got a quicker path to get home too.
Yeah.
You don't have to deal with all that nonsense. Although there's all kinds of nonsense on Tucker, it just moves faster. Yeah, I can't get over the sheer nobody gives a crap about lights, stop signs, just general rules. They'll turn a lane into a turn lane that's not supposed to be a turn lane and just block traffic. Like, okay, guys, why is this hard?
Oh, I was trying to get on the highway, not in downtown, but trying to get on the highway, and someone was like blocking the lane because they were trying to get over into the other lane. So the rest of us couldn't just pull up onto the highway.
Mhm.
And then I'm looking at the situation. I'm like, you could have kept going straight. It's not a turn lane only. So you're so selfish, and it's so important for you to get in the exact lane you want right now
Yeah.
that you're holding everybody else up.
Do you think people are at their worst in a car?
Yeah.
Probably.
Second worst. They're worst online.
Oh, yeah, good point.
But like, yeah, that whole idea that you're going to cut across multiple lanes of traffic because you've got to make your turn now, just go past it and turn around.
But
You're
Kevin,
not gonna
that's
get
going to cost me 30 seconds.
It's not, yeah, right. It's going to cost you 30 seconds, but it will definitely not cause you an accident. You will not hit someone else if you do it that way.
Speaking of law enforcement, I just saw a story today where in Canada, they're rolling out a system where when you call 911, every call is answered by AI. And AI takes your first sentence and decides whether this is something it can handle or if it's something that they need a human for. How's that hit you?
What can AI handle for 911?
Maybe somebody that's calling for a bad reason.
Like
you
a non-emergency.
You ever see those videos where someone calls 911 because they're not getting their food at a fast food place?
I mean, is that so common
No,
that
I
the
wouldn't think so.
default should be everybody has to like pass that test before they can speak to a person? That feels crazy.
Yeah.
Seems unnecessary. Just put some people in there.
I was also thinking about apropos of our conversation yesterday about Pluribus, the show I'm watching, about the hive mind. Everyone's happy and just, bleh, you know, and then there's some rugged individuals left. Are we already kind of there? Like, I thought about this last night when I was scrolling, and I'm like, are you kind of a hive mind?
Well, we're all we're all looking at content that was decided for us by someone else. You know,
yeah,
it's not like the diet you're getting from TikTok is like, I'm going to go watch my favorite creator. Like, no, the algorithm shows you what it wants you to see. Oftentimes it's very pleasant and very fun. But when that's the main thing you're doing all day, that's not good.
Mm-hmm.
I think in moderation, it's amazing. But if that's where the majority of your time is going, it's not a good thing. Not a good thing at all.
Also, speaking of that show, it's a Vince Gilligan show. I didn't watch Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul, but evidently it has like tons of Easter eggs in it and lots of little things like that. Can I just say, and I'm sure this is very unpopular, and I'm sure it makes me look like whatever. I hate Easter eggs.
Preach.
I hate the concept.
What's wrong with these?
I got to disagree.
I do, because
you, Dave.
it immediately excludes people.
But you don't even know it if you're not knowing it.
Yeah, that's the thing.
But I do know it because everyone tells me. Like, there's no way to avoid it.
Who's that? That's not true. Who's everyone?
Well, online.
Oh, I get you.
Yeah. No,
So
I
if
don't
you're
have
going-
people
if you're-
coming to my
so
house.
If you're seeing it on TikTok and they're saying, look at this Easter egg.
Yes.
So after the fact, though, that bothers you?
Yeah,
Really?
it does.
I'm with you, Dave. I think it's annoying.
It's sort of like, Wheels, you hated the end of House of Dynamite. Like, if you're going to tell me a story, tell me the whole
Give
story.
me the whole story. Yeah.
And I kind of agree with you.
Yeah.
And on this, it's like, if you're going to tell me a story, make it for me. Don't just make it it's extra special for everyone else. And I know this is probably a stupid take.
I don't think it's stupid.
No.
I think it's more like, it's because those things are never central to the plot.
No,
They're always they're like, you can make this show or movie without them, but here's a little nod to the people that have followed this universe for
I get
whatever.
it. Totally get it.
Yeah.
But as someone who hasn't, once I know that there are extra things in this, I feel cheated. I'm like, oh, that vase probably meant something to someone who's watching this, and I'm not getting the full experience.
I don't look at it that's not why it bothers me, although I see where you're coming from. The reason it bothers me is like, it just becomes less special when you're doing it all of the time. And when it's like, I can expect an Easter egg. I just feel like it's not special anymore. The first couple times I heard of the concept, I'm like, how neat. And now everything's like, did you know this is actually in the same universe as the Teletubbies, as evidenced by the vacuum cleaner? They blah, blah, blah. Like, all right, we're getting a little crazy with it. It's just a little too much.
There you go.
But I am notoriously cranky, so.
Today, guys, about Dr. Maupin. Again, every day of every week of every month of every year, we talk about this because every time I do, the phone rings and people who have, for whatever reason, prior to this, not been willing to call Dr. Maupin to get a blood test, to see where they stand on their testosterone, to maybe do something about it. and just look and feel, I don't know, 10, 15 years younger, something like that. I don't know. I'm sure there are statistics on it. I don't know it, but I do know that pretty much everyone who gets the bioidentical hormone replacement pellets, male and female, it increases their libido. It increases their performance. It helps you to build muscle and to recover from when you're working out. There's so many people out there who, God love you, you're still going to the gym, but you're just kind of going through the motions. You can't remember the last time you really felt, the pump in your arms and such. Well, because your mojo's not there. The testosterone is not there. Sometimes it's just like scraping the bottom of the rusty bucket. All it takes is a blood test, which we will set up, and then Dr. Maupin will read it for you and with you, and she'll be honest with you. She's a medical doctor. If you're interested in Mounjaro and Zepbound and all of those, you can get those through Dr. Maupin because, she is a medical doctor. For all things Dr. Maupin, go to biobalancehealth.com.
Attention all dog owners. If you have ever listened to the radio or TV for any length of time, you've probably heard of America's #1 dog supplement, Rough Greens. Greetings, naturopathic Dr. Dennis Black, Amazon best-selling author and founder of Rough Greens here. And if your dog suffers from bad breath, itchy skin, licking paws, joint pain, or low energy, the truth is their food is probably to blame. You see, all commercial dog food is dead food. That's why I created Rough Greens. One daily scoop gives your pup the live vitamins, omega oils, probiotics, and enzymes that will bring their food back to life. Don't believe me? Let your dog try it before you buy it. I'll send you a free Jumpstart trial bag, risk-free. You just cover the shipping. Go to roughgreens.com. That's RUFFgreens.com. Use discount code NEWS. Don't wait. Give your dog the gift of vibrant health. Order now. It'll be at your house in a few days. Go to roughgreens.com. That's RUFFgreens.com. Discount code NEWS for your free Jumpstart trial bag today. Rough Green. We make any dog food better.
When life happens and you need to sell your St. Louis area home, call trusted realtor Gloria Liu with your home sold guaranteed realty. Gloria is St. Louis's real estate expert with more than 22 years of experience and expertise, helping you sell quickly and for the most money.
Selling your home can be so stressful, especially when life happens, like a sudden job change, a passing of a loved one, or a growing family. Knowing exactly how much your home will sell in today's market is the first step. Then I back it up with an upfront written guarantee. My guarantee is simple and easy to understand. If I can't sell your home at our agreed upon price and time frame, I'll buy it myself.
When life happens, the name to remember is Gloria Liu, your home sold guaranteed realty. I strongly suggest you call her right now at 314-325-6888, 314-325-6888, or visit gloriahasthebuyers.com. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is Coach Josh Schertz of your St. Louis Billikens. On behalf of the St. Louis community, thank you, KMOX, for 100 years of service. Here's the next 100.
.122 DGS and KMOX. Rach, tell everyone the story about the little girl that got in trouble at school.
Oh, this is so horrible. So there was a little girl, I think she's in middle school, who was being bullied in a really horrible way. She was being bullied with basically an AI deepfake nude photo of her, 13 years old. So her classmate made this deepfake image of her and is, sharing it around the school. And the little girl claims that she complained to school administration, and yet this little boy who was the one harassing her was still at school all day. They didn't really do anything to stop the harassment from happening. So she gets on the bus at the end of the day, and he's showing more people the image, and she goes up to him and she hits him, which I don't think is an unreasonable reaction, personally. Her father says I don't agree with the fact that she hit the little boy, but the fact that she has been expelled from school because of this is absolutely unacceptable. It's like, I totally would have agreed with like a suspension, but the fact that they expelled her and they've shifted the narrative onto her reaction to being sexually exploited all day at school. Why is her reaction worse than the sexual exploitation she was facing?
I'm sorry, if you bully someone and you get hit for it, too bad.
Yeah.
Too bad.
You're talking to the wrong guy here. When I was in law school, going straight from South Roxana to Wash U, and I learned the law, which is basically there's no excuse to ever physically strike someone unless they are physically striking you. You know what I mean?
Or threatening to.
Yeah, no words can ever justify that. No action can ever justify that. Not only did I not agree with that then, I don't agree with that now. I just don't.
Yeah.
I think realistically, like, take this situation. If someone were doing that to 13-year-old Phoebe and she hit them, I completely have her back.
Yep.
Not only should she not be expelled, she should not be suspended. Take it in context.
Yeah.
If my child is the bully, if my child is the aggressor, then okay, let's have some consequences for that.
Yep.
If some little friggin' freak is doing deep fake porns of a 13-year-old, even if that kid's only 13 years old, that kid needs punched. And
Yeah.
I'm fine with it.
And prosecuted.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, that may come. I mean, this is just the beginning of this story, right? What we have now is only what the school did. I don't know what the laws are in Louisiana because that's where it happened, right?
Correct.
I don't know what the laws are there as far as what the law can do, but this is just the beginning. Maybe that kid will eventually get some consequence for his action. But how can you possibly hold someone accountable for just having an outburst when they're being bullied? I mean, first of all the kids are 13. Do we really expect them to act with the composure of a 30-year-old human?
Mm-hmm.
Not going to happen. Not going to happen. But at some point, if you've gone to the school and said, this kid did this is out there, I need you to help me, and you don't help that person, and you let them be on the same bus that same day, you don't pull that boy from the bus. You don't tell him he's got to go get home another way or call his parents in to come pick him up because he's creating deep fake porn of a classmate. The school's responsible.
Well, to add insult to injury, the school district has responded because, I mean, there's a ton of outrage here. I mean, it's made it to us here in St. Louis, but it's all over TikTok. They had a school board meeting last week and tons of people showed up to speak out against this. The school district is saying, unfortunately, there's a tremendous amount of misinformation and omissions of fact that present a one-sided story that fails to illustrate the totality and complex nature of this particular incident and the district's response. I really don't know what details we could possibly be missing. Like Wheel said, the fact that they were allowed to get on the same bus at the end of the day is actually unacceptable.
So I did find more in the story that a student, who didn't specify who, was charged with 10 counts of unlawful dissemination of images created by artificial intelligence, and that other charges and arrests might still happen. So maybe there were other people. So again, if that kid's going to get his due in court, great.
But why does the girl have
But
to
why
suffer
does she
more
have
than
to
she
be
already
punished
has?
at all?
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah.
The Cardinals season may be over, but in St. Louis, sports never stop. The Chiefs are chasing another championship. Mizzou football is making noise, and the Blues are back on the ice. Every weekday at 5, Rush Hour Sports keeps you ahead of the game with news, traffic, weather, and the biggest stories in sports. Kevin Wheeler, Matt Pauly, and Bertie Nicholas, 3 trusted voices St. Louis fans count on. Rush Hour Sports, weekdays at 5 on KMOX.
At Hardee's, every Tuesday is now Tender Bender Tuesday. Right now, download the Hardee's app and join My Rewards. Buy 3 hand-breaded chicken tenders, get 3 free. It's Tender Bender BOGO every Tuesday now through June 2026. This Tuesday, get 3 tenders free. Next Tuesday, get them free. The Tuesday after that, you guessed it, free. Buy 3 tenders, get 3 free. Another great benefit for My Rewards members. Only at Hardee's. Registration and app required. Available for limited time at participating restaurants. See app for terms.
Tell you guys about Neovitin. Been doing Neovitin now for about as long as they've been in operation. Tommy and his dad came to me those many years ago. They were in 1 or 2 mom and pop pharmacies with Neovitin, the multivitamin. And we hatched a plan together, the 3 of us, to get them into Schnucks. And they went into Schnucks and Deerbergs and all the local companies. Then they went regional. Then they went into Illinois. Then they went into Iowa. And now they are, by all practical purposes, a national company. I can tell you from my time with Schnucks, with my Foxpaw company that fixed phones, and later with Walmart, that you don't get into these places at all unless you're really good and you can make them money. And the way they make money is by moving product off the shelves. People buy Neovitin week after week, after month, after year, after decade, and they wouldn't do that if it weren't helping them. So it's all of the nutrients and multivitamins and antioxidants that our doctors think that you need, none of them that you don't. Again, you can find it at neovitin.com or go to your local Schnucks store.
Let's check in with Dave Murray's weather forecast.
That winter feel is long gone. It's a nice afternoon, partly sunny skies, 65. And overnight tonight, it's quite mild for this time of year. Partly cloudy, 52 for the low. That's quite a bit warmer than the last couple of nights. Friday, mostly sunny. Let's call it wonderful for this time of year. The high 75. Friday night, we only go down to 60. Saturday, sunny and 78. Sunday, cold front passes first thing in the morning, partly sunny skies. Not much moisture to work with, maybe a spot shower Sunday. Basically a dry day, but it is cooler on Sunday, though still above average, 62. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
This report is sponsored by Metro Transit.
Looks like autumn has arrived, and all fall long, a Metro Transit Day Pass is still just $5, which makes you just one click away from your one-day mental health fall getaway. Plan your trip at metrostlouis.org.
Since we have lawyers in all 50 states, I see and hear lots of lawyer ads. It seems that most are bragging on what they got their clients. But be careful. If you heard that someone sold their car for $500,000, you would be impressed. But if you later learned that it was a rare $10 million Ferrari, would you say that person got screwed? And that's before you even know if it's true. Who is fact-checking? And how much went to medical bills and lawyers' fees? If you want to get an idea what your case may be really worth, visit forthepeople.com and go to settlements and verdicts. You will see what a law firm like ours is capable of. And fact-check for yourself. All that glitters is not gold. We became America's largest injury firm for a reason. We won big, a lot. At Morgan & Morgan, we represent consumers. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
Injured? Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Hey, just check the mail. We've been invited to a seminar and dinner is free.
It's going to be chicken, and it'll taste like Play-Doh.
Don't be fooled. All seminars are not the same. For example, Steve All, an investment advisor representative and founder of the All Financial Group, is hosting a taxes and retirement seminar at his office in Chesterfield on December 10th. Come meet Steve's newest advisor, Tracy Richardson, as she discusses the big beautiful bill, taxes on your Social Security, and more. Tracy will not only cover the hurdles you can face in retirement, but ways to keep more money in your pocket and less in Uncle Sam's. This is a complimentary event, but seating is limited, so reserve your seat today. Call 636-230-8824 or online at yourmoneymattersstl.com.
You know, hon, I've always been interested in us buying a timeshare.
I'd rather eat Play-Doh.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor. Neither the firm nor its agents or representatives may give tax or legal advice. Individuals should consult with a qualified professional for guidance before making any purchasing decisions.
KMOX, your place for NCAA football play. Saturday, as Oklahoma faces Alabama. Pre-game at 2, kick at 2:30. Hear it here on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Welcome back, DGS 133. A lot of people on the stream today. You can watch us do the show, such as it is. Not that exciting, but people seem to like it at YouTube or Facebook. A lot of people saying, basically agreeing with us that, yeah, we need some common sense in the justice system. Apropos of that, the big news, obviously, going on right now is the Epstein files, right? Now, I shouldn't have to defend the show, but I typically do. For anyone who's like, oh my God, all you do is you crap on Trump and all you do is talk about politics. We do 16 shows a day, 16 individual segments, which are all different, right? Anyone who listens to the show knows that. And if you go back and just like look at the show, you'll find that maybe 2 out of the 16 have anything to do with politics. So we're not like just stuffing politics down your throat. But I don't hear many reasonable, rational analysis of this situation. So can we do that together?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys feel free to jump in anywhere. Stop me if I'm saying something outside the rails. Okay. So first of all, apropos of this Epstein case, let's talk about a couple legal things. And I don't mean to talk down to you. I'm just trying to put a little perspective. People keep talking like Caroline Levitt talks about proof. Proof is subjective, right? Like if you're sitting on a trial, on a jury trial, if Kevin and I are on the jury and we're watching the same evidence be presented, when it comes down to the end of it, Kevin can think that's proof. He's persuaded. And I can think, no, it's not. So it's just purely subjective. And then the justice system assigns like, okay, this many people have to agree on it for it to, take the next step.
Right, with some like minor exceptions, right?
Yeah.
Like if there's video of you crashing your car into a house or whatever.
No.
Right.
No. I disagree with that.
Oh, really? Even that subjective?
Yes.
Okay.
Especially in this day and age.
Okay.
I think that okay, here's the deal. Evidence is the building blocks to proof.
Okay.
Evidence and proof are two different things.
Right, right.
Evidence is,
They're the
how about
bricks.
this? How
They're
about
the
this?
bricks,
How
right?
about this? And then you go, you have convinced me. I believe you have proven this. Can you play the Caroline Levitt thing just real quick?
Mm-hmm. Did the president ever spend hours at Jeffrey Epstein's house with a victim?
These emails prove absolutely nothing other than the fact that President Trump did nothing wrong.
Okay, stop it
And
right
what
there.
President Trump has always said.
She's so stupid. They prove absolutely nothing except that he didn't do anything. First of all, it's not proof, Caroline. it's evidence. Okay, we're not in a trial, but it's public forum evidence that Epstein sent these email way back when to his bestie Ghislaine, and there you go. That's evidence. It's not evidence that he did nothing when Epstein says, hey, remember when he spent all those hours with that underage girl at my house? And Ghislaine says, I've been thinking about that. That's evidence. It's not proof. They could have made the whole thing up.
Right, right.
But it's certainly not evidence that he didn't do anything.
Well, you can't prove a negative.
Right. It's evidence that someone thinks he did something. So it drives me crazy when the spokesperson for the country is so stupid that she says it's proof, wrong, that he did nothing. That's so stupid. Okay, go ahead and play it again. We'll play the end of it.
Did the president ever spend hours at Jeffrey Epstein's house with a victim?
These emails prove absolutely nothing other than the fact that President Trump did nothing wrong. And what President Trump has always said is that he was from Palm Beach, and so was Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein was a member at Mar-a-Lago until President Trump kicked him out because Jeffrey Epstein was a pedophile. And
Okay,
he was
stop
a
it right
creep.
there. President has denied knowing any of this.
Right. He denied knowing that Epstein
Yes.
was with underage girls. Yeah, yeah.
Now we know, based on the evidence provided by his spokesperson, that he did know that he was a pedophile. Now the only question is, when did he know? It's no longer a question that he knew. Donald,
So in court, she'd be getting killed right
That's
now.
right.
Okay,
That's
so
right.
Don't call her as a
Because she
witness.
just made an admission on his behalf that the president knew he was a pedophile.
Knew Epstein
Yes.
was. Right.
So now, again, I know this is a bit esoteric, but no one else is going to do this. you have these responses coming from the White House, which are nonsensical, grammatically incorrect, nonsensical musings. So it's not proof. It's really not proof that he didn't do anything wrong. And it is evidence that he knew he was a pedophile. Now we just need to figure out when he knew it and what he did about it, right?
So that if you were cross-examining Levitt, you would have been thrilled with what she just said there.
Thrilled.
Okay.
Thrilled. So then the part that bothers me the most is the whole hoax. They're really doubling and tripling down on it's a Democrat manufactured hoax. And I've yet to hear from any of them which part of this is a hoax. Jeffrey Epstein isn't a hoax. These abused and raped little girls are not a hoax. Ghislaine Maxwell's conviction is not a hoax. Now, you can say it's a hoax that President Trump was involved in it, but I really haven't heard people say that. Have you guys heard many real people, established people say, I think he's a pedophile. I think he was doing the same thing as Epstein? Because I have not. I've mostly heard people say, we should get to the bottom of this. So I don't see in any way that it's a hoax. If you want to take up the issue of whether President Trump was involved, that's a question of fact. And then you can say, hey, we've collected the evidence and we believe that it proves that he was not. That's a perfectly possible thing that could happen. Or it could go the other way, but it's not a hoax. Then you look at the outside evidence. Now, just don't check your brain at the door. We all know how this is. And I've said this many, many times. I've done some bad things in my life. And if people said, hey, this guy, maybe I wouldn't admit it, but I would have a hard time calling it a hoax. Then there are other things I haven't done. And if someone accused me of that, I'd be like, hey, you look into it, pull every email, every phone call, whatever, because I'm just not good for it. And I think everyone gets that. Everyone has done stuff they're not proud of, and everyone has been accused of something big or little that they didn't do. When you're accused of something big or little you didn't do, you don't play defense like this. You don't keep Congress out. You don't keep this representative from being sworn in because she would be that final vote.
The tipping vote. Yeah.
Yes. When he was running and he was asked, are you going to release the Epstein files? Yes. Now he's calling Republican lawmakers trying to cajole them into not voting for it. He famously called Boebert last night. And then she said, oh, there is no pressure. Then she posted something alluding to the fact that there was pressure put on her by the president. This is not the way someone acts when they have nothing to hide. This is the way someone acts, in my humble opinion, when they don't want more coming out. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, you think about the logic of it, right? Because it was this administration when they first took office that did the big, here come the Epstein files.
Yeah, remember that picture?
Called in all the right-wing bloggers and influencers, the Laura Loomers and those people, and they got to pick up their big stack. They made a big deal out of that, but obviously that wasn't the whole thing. That was just what had already been released, because all of those people wound up being very disappointed when they looked at it and said, yeah, this is all the stuff we saw before. But this is the administration that did that. That wasn't Biden. It wasn't anybody else. This administration made a big deal about that release.
And then you look at other evidence, not proof, evidence. Like if I were a lawyer trying to prove that Donald Trump had something to hide, I could say, let's put on evidence that his personal attorney went to the prison and interviewed Ghislaine Maxwell. Why? We never really got a good explanation for that, did we?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, why did she get to go to the country club prison? Why is she getting special treatment we talked about?
Before you even get to that, why did you go there?
Good question.
Yeah, why? That's such a good question.
Right?
Why?
And so I don't think that Trump or his attorney are stupid enough to leave a trail of, hey, look, if you just say that Donald had nothing to do with it, we're going to move you to a good place. But she's not stupid. And so they go there and they're like, hey, did you ever see Donald Trump do anything bad? She's like, nope. And they're like, okay, give this woman a transfer and give her all the toilet papers you can wipe her butt with. And and of course she's not a good witness, right?
She's in it.
She's a terrible witness.
She's a convicted felon.
But now you have this evidence, not proof, but evidence, once again, in these email that she did know that they were great friends, and she did know that Donald Trump had spent hours with an underage girl at Epstein's home because Epstein told her that, and she responded, I've been thinking about that a lot. Now, you put all of this together, and it may just be a lot of smoke.
Right.
But any, I think, reasonable, intelligent, honest broker has to look at this and go, there's a lot of smoke here. And there's not a lot of exonerating things. Now, again, it's evidence that Miss Giuffre, the young girl who committed suicide, was the one that Epstein said was there.
She's the one you would see in the photo with
Yes.
Prince Andrew if you saw that.
She didn't mention Donald Trump doing anything untoward.
No, in fact, in her book, she said she never saw that.
And that's evidence.
Right.
It's not proof.
Right.
It's another brick in the wall.
Yeah.
Over here, you have a wall made of bricks that makes it look like he's got something to hide. And over here, you have a wall of bricks that make it look like he doesn't. And then a reasonable person, whether you're on a jury or you're just listening to a radio show, you go, which wall makes more sense? That's it.
So as lawyer Dave, if you would you try, if you're looking at this particular case and all the things you just laid out, would you at all be able to or want to bring in things that Trump himself has said in radio interviews, like on Stern, bragging about walking in on the Miss Teen USA pageant because he owned it and he was allowed to, like going into the dressing room and joking about how like they were undressed and he knew, I mean, he was on the radio saying those things. Like that's not just somebody said, it's not hearsay. Would you try to bring that in as a lawyer to this conversation?
And I might
Would
not
it
be able to.
It might get
Sometimes
shot down.
past bad behavior is not proof of this.
Right.
But sure, like grab him by the P word. The fact that a judge found that he had raped that Jean Carroll woman. There are lots of things that you can go, there is an accusation against this person. Is there
Bragging
any
about going backstage at a teen Miss USA
Is there
pageant?
anything in their past that would suggest like there's no way this person could do it? And we all know, like BTK killer,
right?
He had zero smoke around him, and he was tying people up and killing them,
right?
But I think, as you're making a decision about a politician, that you're not in a courtroom, you're not under the rules of civil procedure. You have your own brain, you have your own stereotypes, you have your own leanings. Right? A lot of people love Donald Trump. A lot of people hate Donald Trump. But all I'm asking and trying to do in this little segment is say, let's take that out of it and just look at what we know.
Yeah. So
and how does that look?
To you, again, using the lawyer brain, to you, does it feel similar to the Joe Biden's fine? He's fine. Or does it feel to you like Clinton, what's the meaning of the word is and all of that? I did not have sexual relations. Like, does it, or Nixon, does it have that same vibe of like, you're all protesting too much?
Yeah.
And in those cases, we know there was a there.
All of the above.
I mean, there was a there with Clinton. There was with Biden. There was with Nixon.
And to me, the most damning thing is the way they're handling it. We've all been in a relationship before, a romantic relationship, a coworker, a friendship, where the person just gaslights you and they do something to hurt you. And you tell them and they're like, oh my God, I think you're insane because I blah, 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 blah. The level of gaslighting going on right now from the White House to the Congress to the citizenry is just unequaled. Tell me that you're guilty of something without telling me you're guilty of something by trying to keep any facts of it coming out at all. Could it be that he's pure as a driven snow when it comes to this? He knew the guy. He figured out that he was a pedophile and a creep. He ended his relationship with him. Yes. Yes, it is possible. I can imagine that happening. All I say is count the bricks.
This holiday season, the Dave Glover Show is excited to partner with Hardee's and Operation Food Search for the Holiday Food Drive. While supplies last, stop by any metro area Hardee's and make a donation of at least $1 to benefit Operation Food Search and receive a limited edition DGS holiday sticker. All donations will benefit Operation Food Search to help children and families facing food insecurities. Get all the details about the campaign or to make an online donation, head to KMOX.com/events.
let me encourage you that if you or someone in your family has an injury, maybe a car accident or a sports injury or a slip and fall when we get ice in the ground, or it could be something chronic. Maybe you were a baseball player in high school and you tore your rotator cuff and you never had it repaired. Anything structural, anything orthopedic like that, I would suggest that you reach out to my friend, Dr. Matt Bays at Bays Sports Medicine. The doc is known as a sports doctor, an orthopedic doctor. He's not a surgeon. That's Corey Solomons, my orthopedic surgeon. They know each other. They send patients back and forth depending on their needs. Matt does a lot of regenerative medicine, which basically stem cell injections, which I have seen done about a dozen times. I've spoken to the patients and just how crazy about it they were, and nothing else was helping them. The other thing about Matt Bays, since he's opened his own shop and hung a shingle out there doing Bays Sports Medicine, is that he is absolutely disgusted by how most doctors treat their patients when it comes to customer service, how you're greeted, how long you wait, whether you're getting answers, whether it's timely, whether it makes any sense. So he's completely committed to changing that so that you get great customer and patient service from Matt Bays. 636-735-3003 or BaysSportsMed.com.
After a disaster, emotional recovery takes time. Show Me Hope Missouri offers free, confidential support wherever you are. Call or text 1-800-985-5990 and connect with a local crisis counselor today. From Missouri Department of Mental Health.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why Big Wireless wants you on an unlimited plan? They probably want you to cover the cost of those 20-somethings using all that data every month. But most people 50 and up like me only use 12 gigs or less. Don't get bamboozled by Big Wireless. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Our plans start at just $20, and we use the same towers as the big guys. Join the millions who choose something better, because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Nobody had to tell your grandparents not to drive while using their typewriters. Why should it be any different for us kids and our cell phones? Distracted driving was the cause of more than 3,000 deaths in 2022. Come on, we're smarter than this. Let's put down the phones and focus on the roads. Drive safe, everybody.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Now that we're getting older, we've been putting more thought into maintaining our health.
We knew the water we drink every day could be filled with contaminants. So
we called Leaf Home Water Solutions.
They came to our home and did a free water test and gave us the analysis right away.
We were shocked at what we saw.
They found heavy metals like iron and copper.
Our own tap water was putting our health at risk, but Leaf Home Water Solutions made it easy to get safer water from every tap and hose. A whole home solution.
They have more than 250 product combinations and designed a system that fits our needs and budget. The installation took less than a day.
With Leaf Home Water Solutions, our water is safer and healthier. When we drink, when we cook, when we shower, even when we garden.
We feel better about our health.
Thanks to Leaf Home Water Solutions.
Schedule your free home water test today at leafhome.com/free and save 15% on all home water treatment systems. That's leafhome.com/free for your free home water test and 15% off. leafhome.com/free.
Welcome back, guys. DGS 152. Lots of really nice comments coming in. Thank you, Dan and Wes and Jason. Appreciate that. One more thing. And again, I just did my whole diatribe. Proof versus evidence. Bricks of evidence leading to a conclusion of proof. This is not proof at all. It's a very bad person saying something about another person.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still probative because we're trying to figure this out. In 2017, Epstein wrote to former Treasury Secretary Lawrence Summers, "I've met some very bad people, none as bad as Trump. Not one decent cell in his body." Again, not proof. He's a pedophile. You can't take a lot of what he's right. I mean, he's obviously not a good person, not someone to be believed right off the bat. He's not, Billy Graham or something. But it's still a brick. as you put all of these things together, you ask yourself, well, what was he threatened by Donald Trump? Was he trying to take him down? Like, why would he call somebody? And he also reached out to Lavrov in Russia to tell Russia, hey, I've got stuff on Donald Trump.
It's interesting that you say that. So I read a bunch of these emails this morning. And he does certainly seem to have turned on Trump right around the time that Trump started running for president. That's when you start seeing in the email files and in the text message files, you start seeing him telling everybody Trump is nuts. He's dangerous. He's crazy. I have lots of dirt on him, and I know all the horrible things he's done. He's a really bad guy. He's the worst person I've ever known. He's an absolute, lunatic. He can't be in the White House, whatever. So I'm wondering if, this is pure conjecture, obviously, but I'm wondering if maybe, Trump did reach out to him and was like, hey, you better keep all this to yourself.
Yeah, Kevin says the Epstein-Maxwell emails reference Virginia Giuffre, whose own testimony under oath said Trump never acted inappropriately towards her. She was never at Epstein's house with Trump. Kevin, I would encourage you to go back and listen to the first segment I did. And if you listen to it again. Yeah. Because I said this is evidence that he didn't do anything. It's not proof, but the victim didn't say he ever did anything.
She said that she worked at Mar-a-Lago. That's how she ran into, according to her book, right? Virginia Giuffre's book, she says that's where she ran into Ghislaine Maxwell, and Ghislaine Maxwell is the one that recruited her. But her story was never different. She never once said that Donald Trump had anything to do with any of it. And that's what her testimony is, and you did say that last segment.
And as a trier of fact, whether you're on a jury or just listening to a radio show trying to make up your mind about the president, there are two bricks of evidence. Yeah. One is Epstein, the perpetrator, saying to his co-conspirator, hey, remember when Trump spent half a day with Giuffre? And she says, I've been thinking about that a lot. That's a brick of evidence that makes it look like he did. Then Giuffre herself doesn't mention it. That's a brick of evidence that he didn't.
Putting aside the bricks, putting aside everything, I just want someone to tell me what is the reason to not release the files?
That's the question.
Can someone give me a reason that makes sense? Because 6 months ago, everybody wanted to release them. I don't understand why it's different now than it was when Donald Trump was campaigning for his second term.
Great question.
Yeah, and that includes a lot of surrogates, right? Was it Eric Trump or Don Jr. that did a big Twitter meme, like released the files or whatever?
JD Vance,
was it
vice
Jr.
president.
that did it? Yeah. So
great question, Rach. What changed?
Yeah, that's really all I'm curious about. I don't think any of this proves anything.
Right.
I just don't understand why we're lobbying to not release the file. Someone give me a reason as to why we can't release the files. Because the files could clear all of this up.
And this is not a left issue because this was largely pushed by people on the right for years, right? Release the file. And even this has even caused some friction on the right because there are still people there. I think MTG was one of them, right?
Yeah.
Like, hey, we still want this.
Yeah. Yeah. And from Donald Trump himself, out of his own mouth and his surrogates saying it's a hoax, it's a giant distraction, the Democrats just don't want you to think about this or that. Well, you know what my strategy would be if that were true? Release all the not meaningless files, release every email you have, release every photograph you have, which will prove, according to them, that the president is completely ivory white, snowy pure. And that's really going to stick it to the Democrats. Because one thing we know is that Republicans want to hurt Democrats. Democrats want to hurt Republicans. What would hurt the Democrats more right now than to go, you guys have no idea that you are barking up the tree of a nothing burger. We're about to make you look so stupid. Release all those files. That would be my move.
Yeah. And there is an argument to be made, if you want to make it, that it can be simply there are a lot of other people in those files that people that are high office would like to protect.
Yeah. Rachel, want me to do the E3? You want to do it later?
Yes, please.
Okay. Tell you guys about E3 Wealth. In fact, John Moriarty is coming up in about half an hour. I've known John for 20 years. He's a great guy. He's a financial guy. But in the world of financial guys, there are stockbrokers, there are annuity guys, there are let me take you out for a chicken dinner and show you what whole life can do for you guys. And John is not that. John works almost exclusively with business owners and entrepreneurs, And especially those who have found themselves a bit frustrated trying to find a financial person. You're looking for someone who knows business. You're looking for someone who knows entrepreneurship, but all you're finding are annuity guys and whole life guys. If that's you, you found your guy. Reach out to John. He's great at helping business people and entrepreneurs to avoid taxes and to build their wealth. You can find him at e3wealth.com. That's the letter E, the number 3wealth.com.
Why do the national tax resolution firms need the tiny fine print at the bottom of all their TV ads? Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. You don't hear fast-talking disclaimers in our ads because the claims we make are 100% transparent. The Lance Story Law Firm primarily focuses on one thing, IRS problems, and we're regulated by the Bar Association, and we have a AAA rating with the Better Business Bureau. IRS issues are serious legal issues. The Lance Story Law Firm has helped thousands of clients navigate the best resolution plans, and we tell you up front exactly how much it'll cost. Tax resolution law is all we do. So before you send money to some out-of-town, high-pressure salesperson, give us a call at the Lance Story Law Firm, located right here in St. Louis. Call today to schedule your free consultation with me, 314-260-6120, or visit Lance, D-R-U-R-Y law.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Cunahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions and bring you a special Black Friday offer.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have Leaf Filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal. And now, as a special Black Friday offer, you can get a free gutter inspection, plus up to 35% off. This is our best offer of the season. Unlock it now at leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
News, talk, cards. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
At 2:01, we have sunshine and 66 degrees downtown of the Arch. I'm Maria Kina, and for Michael Calhoun, our top story. Some 3,200 IAM District 837 members are heading back to work. Union members ratified Boeing's latest contract offer. A statement from the union leadership reads in part, quote, IAM District 837 members stood strong and unified for over 3 months. We thank our bargaining committee for their tireless efforts, and we appreciate the unwavering support of our members, their families, the St. Louis community, our labor allies, and elected officials throughout this fight. Now, members will start returning to work this Sunday. CBS News has learned that President Trump has been briefed on an option for military action in Venezuela in the coming days. CBS News senior White House political correspondent, that is, Ed O'Keefe, has more.
In the view of his administration, Nicolas Maduro's government has been assisting in or allowing the flow of illegal drugs to continue through Venezuela and out. And the alleged associations between his government and the Tren de Aragua gang, which has a presence here in the United States and across much of Central America, that those are reason enough to do this.
KMOX has a follow-up on the food pantry in Grand Center that was burglarized 3 times. 150 frozen chickens were stolen just before their big Thanksgiving giveaway, which is this Saturday.
First window that broke out was this one.
This is Stuart McMillan. No one has been caught for the 3 break-ins that happened last week and Sunday at St. Luke's Memorial Missionary Baptist Church food pantry. St. Louis City Police did not file a report until the front door had been smashed on Sunday. Pantry director Carlton McKinney says he's overwhelmed by those who have stepped up to replace what was lost.
A couple of corporations have reached out and was like, what do you need? What can we give? And it's just, wow. It's like, wow, we are backing up offshore, even though now we have a security system in place now. Thank God.
This Saturday morning is when they'll be handing out those Thanksgiving food bags from 8 until 10:30. First come, first serve. And don't let Google Maps fool you. Grand is back open, and you can take Finney to where St. Luke's Pantry is located.
Business Desk gets sponsored by Krentz Financial Group, KFGadvisors.com. Give yourself a lasting gift this holiday season by carefully managing your spending and savings. Giving that gift carefully will manage how you are actually spending, and you can keep track of things. Stephen Cates has more.
It's easy to overspend during the holidays, but keeping your savings goals intact should be part of the plan. Start with a realistic holiday budget. Add up what you can comfortably spend after covering essentials like rent, utilities, and monthly savings contributions. That way, you're not dipping into your emergency fund or sacrificing long-term goals. Next, prioritize experiences and thoughtful gifts over expensive ones. Many people appreciate the gesture more than the price tag. If you're using credit cards for convenience or rewards, track your spending and aim to pay off balances in full when the bills come due. Also, think ahead to next year. Setting aside a little bit each month in a dedicated holiday savings account can make future seasons easier on your wallet. The holidays should bring joy, not financial regret. Smart planning keeps both your budget and your spirits bright. For more, check out Bankrate. I'm Stephen Cates.
And a check of traffic eastbound 364 past Woodson. It looks like it's debris that's blocking a couple of lanes there, so be extra careful. MoDOT responding there. And the good news is northbound 270 before Manchester, that earlier accident has now been cleared. Dave Murray has our forecast.
That winter feel is long gone. It's a nice afternoon, partly sunny skies, 65. And overnight tonight, it's quite mild for this time of year. Partly cloudy, 52 for the low. That's quite a bit warmer than the last couple of nights. Friday, mostly sunny. Let's call it wonderful for this time of year. The high 75. Friday night, we only go down to 60. Saturday, sunny and 78. Sunday, cold front passes first thing in the morning, partly sunny skies. Not much moisture to work with, maybe a spot shower Sunday. Basically a dry day, but it is cooler on Sunday, though still above average, 62. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM. KMOX.
And check out the Dow right now, which I forgot about there. It's down 780 points to 47,474. And 68 degrees in St. Peter's, 66 in Florissant, and downtown of the Arch at 66. I'm Maria Aquino, KMOX News.
This report is sponsored by Overhead Door Company of St. Louis.
Attention veterans and active military. Overhead Door Company of St. Louis is giving veterans and active military 10% off all month. That's 10% off all doors, openers, and any service or repair. Schedule online at overheaddoorsstlouis.com.
The Dave Glover Show is sponsored by the Michaels Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts. IGotFloored.com.
Welcome back, guys. DGS 206. Time to talk to our buddy Brad Young, attorney at law. Hello, Brad.
Hey, Dave, don't use such good bumper music because I was here desk drumming.
You dig it?
Oh, it's great. You got great bumper music.
Little president of the United States. Yeah, we grew up in a great era for music, didn't we?
Yes, we did. And, back when I had hair, I was drumming in a rock band, but
nice.
Not a lot of call for bald drummers these days.
Oh, I don't know. I disagree with that. I think it's the era of the bald drummer.
What if you guys did your own band and called it the Bald Drummers?
Called it the Bald Eagles. We'll be a tribute band.
That would be good.
That's a really good idea.
Get Jeff Faulkner in there.
Oh, sure.
TJ from Lost Parade. We're set. I just did like a 20-minute diatribe, basically, Brad, about the Epstein thing without doing it again. I kind of went back to first semester of law school and talked about how, like, Carolyn Levitt saying this is proof of nothing except that Donald Trump did nothing. And I'm like, let's just get our terms straight. Like, and in my analogy, and please feel free to disagree, you have evidence, which are little bricks that build a wall that represents proof. That whether you're trying to decide if your kid's smoking pot or your wife's cheating on you or the president is dirty, you put together the bricks of evidence, which we're getting them all the time, and you analyze whether these bricks are believable or not. And if you get enough bricks that you become convinced, that now constitutes proof. And I was just talking about, let's stop talking about, I hate Trump and he's a pedophile, or he's the greatest man who ever lived and he would never even look at another woman. Let's just look at what we know and what we don't know. And that's kind of the discussion we had.
Well, your analysis is 100% correct, Dave. But the question, though, you didn't ask, and as you laid that out, is proof of what? And I guess that's really what, as I'm looking at Epstein, I see even with the emails that were released, we have proof in here that, number one, that Trump had knowledge of what Epstein was doing.
Yeah.
There's even a reference of our little secret. So he knew, and I really think that's irrefutable. He knew what Epstein was doing, number one. But if you're asking about, is he guilty of being with underage girls, I think the answer to that is we still don't have any evidence of that.
Agreed.
That's really the part of it, is a lot of times we have guilt by association, right? If I can show that you were in the same neighborhood as where a crime was committed, then I can argue that you were involved with a crime. In this instance, I think that there's clear knowledge, or clear evidence rather, that Trump was aware of it. But number one, I don't know if he had a duty to do something about it.
Right.
Number one, by the time he became president, at least by all accounts, Epstein's actions were either no longer going on, or were at the point of I don't want to say petering out, right? But at this point, what are we thinking that Trump is guilty of? If it's knowledge, yeah, I think he's guilty. If it's pedophilia, I don't think it proves that.
Yeah, and it's such an interesting concept, because as lawyers, we're used to a standard of proof for a judge or a jury, a trier of fact. And whether you like the court of public opinion or not, it is a real thing that everyone is involved with. And I think it is valid that even if you can't prove that Donald Trump is a pedophile, you can look at the bricks of evidence as a citizen and go, not for me. This guy's not for me. And I think that's where we are now. And what I find so intellectually offensive is the way that most Republicans and conservative pundits are handling this. And I believe they're handling it as if everyone else is stupid. It's a hoax, nothing to see here.
That is just the worst way to handle this. I said on your show 6 months ago, I said that the best way for Trump to handle this would be to let everything out.
Amen.
All right? Rip the Band-Aid. Because otherwise we're going to have this trickle, drip situation where every time new stuff comes out, then it's a big kerfuffle in the media, and it raises issues about his character, to the extent there are any ongoing issues about his character. And so the best way to do it from a PR standpoint would have been to release everything. You're already the president. You can't be I guess you could be impeached, but you can't be, you don't have to worry about running for re-election. So get it all out there and then have it in the rearview mirror. But he didn't do that, because I think ego gets in the way of doing that. And now we're facing the consequences of that decision.
Yeah. And someone refraining from taking an action is not evidence in and of itself. But as a smart person who doesn't have to check their brain at the door, I think you can look at it, and we were just talking about before you came on, we know that Republicans hate Democrats and vice versa, at least the political class, and they're always trying to get the other one. It's like playing a game of tennis, and, oh, you overran to the left, I'm going to stroke it down the right. If there really was nothing to see here, wouldn't the absolute boss move be to suck the Democrats in, get them into a lather, and then go release everything, and they're going to look so stupid? But he's calling Boebert and trying to convince her to vote no, and calling other people trying to convince him to vote no. And Rachel, non-lawyer, asked the most salient question of all last segment: what has changed between the campaign when he said, absolutely, we'll release the Epstein files? What has changed since then?
What has changed is that in typical narcissistic fashion, narcissists just say things, and then later they don't correct it. They just deny that they said it or change the subject. And that's really what you've got here. He just made an off-the-cuff statement that he really shouldn't have made. But then I also look at the absence of evidence as being evidence. And this was information that the Biden administration had during their 4 years. They knew he was going to run for president. They knew he was going to be on the ticket. I also like to think if there was a, quote, smoking gun, unquote, that would have been released during the Biden administration, and it wasn't. So I think this really goes to a character flaw where Trump doesn't want anything coming out that may look bad, which, again, doesn't solve the PR problem, which would have been solved had he just released everything at the beginning of his term, and then we wouldn't even be talking about it.
I totally agree. I think that if there really was a smoking gun, we would probably know one way or another. My best guess, if I had to bet my own $10, is there are dozens more of this level of email and such. But if there was a smoking gun, email, photograph, whatever, I would be shocked.
Yes. Yeah. And the worst thing that's in these emails that just came out is that according to himself, Epstein, he says that Trump spent hours with Virginia Giuffre, and yet at that point, he was also a former employee. It doesn't suggest he was doing anything wrong, obscene, illegal, or immoral. So there's really only innuendo here, which would all be solved if we just would have let everything out months ago.
And go ahead, Rich.
Former employee of the Mar-a-Lago Spa, correct?
Yes,
correct.
As a teenager.
Jeffrey, yes. Yeah.
As a teenager.
Yeah.
Why would someone at Donald Trump's level of power be having a sit-down conversation with a 16-year-old that used to work at his spa? Anybody else think that's a little strange?
Did at that time work at Mar-a-Lago, but
until she got poached,
right?
But they're like meeting up later to talk about, like, what would they have to talk about?
We don't know that.
Yeah,
we don't know that. It does seem a little odd, but it doesn't seem like, in the nature of these emails, it seems to me like if there was something here that he shouldn't have been doing, that would have been spelled out in the emails.
I guess my question is like, what would the circumstance be to where those two would meet up and have a conversation?
non-weird reason.
I could see something like this because she was at Epstein's house, and I can see Trump being there saying, "Look how important I am. Look how great I am. You shouldn't have left me when you used to work at Mar-a-Lago because everything's great. Everything's fantastic." I could see him just using that as an opportunity to talk about how great he is and how she missed the boat by jumping ship from the Trump organization and then working for the Epstein organization.
Now, if
I could see that.
If I read an excerpt from the book, I haven't read the book, but there was an excerpt, maybe salon.com, something like that, where by her description, she was trained or recruited into something by Ghislaine Maxwell, but she was already working at Mar-a-Lago when that happened, from the way it was described.
Correct.
Right.
That's what we understand.
Speaking of Ghislaine Maxwell, Brad, I'm interested in your thoughts on this. Can you imagine if you were counsel to the president and he said to you, "Hey, here's my idea. I'm going to send Todd Blanche, my personal lawyer, who everyone knows is my personal lawyer, to the prison where Ghislaine Maxwell is, and have him interview her. And then about 3 weeks after that, we're going to move her to a way better prison where she gets all of these, right?
That's like the worst advice ever. Okay. Because the appearance of impropriety is all over the place. When you send your personal lawyer to talk to somebody and they magically say, "Oh, Trump is fine. He didn't do anything wrong." And then she gets moved, to a corporate luxury prison situation. It all looks terrible. And that's really something that Trump can't manage, I think, because ego gets in the way.
This is a question for the lawyers, because you guys, obviously, I have no idea about this. What typically leads to a convicted felon getting preferential treatment?
Brad?
That's a good question. Typically, what you see is that a convicted felon will get some sort of preferential treatment once they provide evidence. And I think, Wheels, this is where you're going with this.
This is why I'm asking you.
I mean, Stevie Wonder can see where you're going with this, but I think what you're saying here is that if a prisoner gives favorable evidence to a prosecution, then they can get a better situation. They get, 2 helpings of mashed potatoes instead of 1.
Yeah, but in this case, this is a person that's already convicted, right? This isn't in the process of going through the trial. This is a person convicted of sex trafficking. That is the specific charge that Ghislaine Maxwell is convicted of, felony sex trafficking for 20 years. So to get preferential treatment after already being convicted, that would typically mean that person gives somebody something.
Correct.
You don't just get gifts if you're a convicted felon.
Right. But then the innuendo here, and listen, you guys have known me long enough. I'm not arguing in support of Donald Trump.
No.
I'm just trying to look at the evidence from a dispassionate viewpoint. And at this point, you don't know whether she was saying, I can testify and I can say publicly that Trump did nothing wrong because it's absolutely true.
Right.
But I'm not going to say that until you give me something. Or the other side is Trump's as dirty can be, but I will provide him an alibi if you give me a better jail situation. Both of those have an equal chance of being true. And in fact, again, I don't like Trump and I don't argue for him, but looking at the evidence, there is no smoking gun evidence. And so that would seem to suggest that validates what Ghislaine Maxwell said when she said, I never saw him doing anything wrong.
And I wanted to follow up with that, just to keep that line of questioning for a second. Sorry, I'm not trying to be a lawyer, but if you're looking at it in no matter what she's saying, why is it under the table? Why is there no kind of agreement if this is a legal proceeding? So you get what I'm saying, right? If there's a deal made, if I make a deal, if I'm accused of a crime and I say, I can get you the bigger fish, I can get you the boss of the family instead of me, I'm just a capo. There's a written agreement that says, I'm going to do this. This is what I'm going to get for what I did. Why is there no record of any of that?
Boy, there's a great answer to that. And the great answer is this. There's no pending. I mean, she's got an appeal writ of cert in front of the Supreme Court that's going to go absolutely nowhere. So there's no ongoing legal proceeding where that would have to be disclosed. Like, for example, if a prisoner testifies at the trial, then the defense has an opportunity to find out what you got in exchange for your testimony. But there's no ongoing criminal proceeding here. She's already been convicted. The only thing on the table is a pardon. And the Constitution gives unfettered pardon power to the president. And so it doesn't require documentation. It doesn't require validation. It doesn't even require it to make sense. He could just pardon her for whatever reason, and the Constitution gives that power to the president. That's why there's no documentation.
Brad, one last quick question. If Donald Trump makes it through his 4 years, and then commuted or pardoned Ghislaine Maxwell on his last day in office, would that blow it up for you?
80% yes.
Okay.
I would still have some lingering doubts in the absence of corroborating evidence that there's some smoking gun where he did something wrong. But if he pardons her as he walks out the door, I think that's part and parcel evidence that there was an agreement for her to speak favorably on his behalf.
All right. Thank you, buddy.
My pleasure.
Because we have lawyers in all 50 states, I see lots of lawyers' ads. Most seem to be bragging on results, but are they true or misleading? For example, in some cases, a firm may try a case even though the at-fault party has no lawyer, then brag in the ad about their results. My son Matt got one for nearly $50 million, but we never collected one dime. Some lawyers may say they got a result even though they were sitting second chair at a firm like mine, and even though they had little to do with it. Happens all the time. All that glitters is not gold. At Morgan & Morgan, our results are real. Visit forthepeople.com and go to Settlements and Verdicts to see for yourself what your case may be worth before you hire a law firm. Do your homework. Fact check. It's easy and too important not to. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
Injured? Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Hey, y'all, this is Maggie Freeling, host of the new podcast, Up and Vanish Weekly. Tune in each week as Payne Lindsay and I are joined by other true crime experts to take a fresh look at some of the most puzzling crimes and shine a spotlight on the cases that have stumped investigators for far too long. So go right now and search Up and Vanish Weekly in your podcast app to follow the show. Listen for free wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com, because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, ETHOS, ethos.com/life.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why Big Wireless wants you on an unlimited plan? They probably want you to cover the cost of those 20-somethings using all that data every month. But most people 50 and up like me only use 12 gigs or less. Don't get bamboozled by Big Wireless. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Our plans start at just $20, and we use the same towers as the big guys. Join the millions who choose something better, because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM. Visit consumercellular.com/facts or store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Purina presents A Century of Service.
This is KMOX Radio.
KMOX is celebrating 100 years of informing and entertaining St. Louis. On November 20th, KMOX Day, we will celebrate the KMOX pioneers.
This is Jim White for your information.
Legendary voices.
KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
Groundbreaking programming.
KMOX Radio. We're at your service.
And unforgettable moments that have defined a century of broadcasting.
We did locate Ben this afternoon, and we've also located Sean Harnbeck.
Hear from current and former KMOX personalities who have helped make this station the preeminent news, information, and sports brand in America. A century of service, celebrating 100 years of KMOX, is presented by Purina, your pet, our passion, on the voice of St. Louis. KMOX.
You've got your whole life ahead of you, so choose a Medicare plan you can count on. And that's what you get with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. With more than 45 years' experience serving its members, United Healthcare has plans with low monthly premiums that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today. United Healthcare Medicare plans. It's Medicare coverage Missouri can count on.
This is Molly Highland, daughter of Robert Highland. Congratulations, KMOX, the voice of St. Louis, on a century of service.
Welcome back, DGS. It is National World Kindness Day.
That's nice.
And National Hug a Musician Day.
Every day's a day.
Every day's a day.
Ain't that the truth?
According to a new study, shouting at seagulls does make them more likely to leave your food alone.
That makes sense.
Who is funding these studies?
Are they just standing out on the boardwalk asking people?
Yeah.
Hey, when you yelled at it, did it go away?
Did it go
Like,
away?
Yeah, it did. Funny how that works.
List of careers that are often unfairly villainized. HR workers.
Yeah, they got a bad deal.
Teachers.
Teachers are villainized? Well, I shouldn't say that. Yeah, they are.
Customer service reps.
Yeah.
Dentists.
Aw.
Attorneys.
I think they're doing just fine.
Until you need one.
Parking enforcement.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one I will not be taking up for the parking enforcement people. Sorry. I know you're just doing your job, but it's very annoying.
Mm-hmm. Yesterday, the last ever U.S. penny was minted in Philadelphia.
All right.
R.I.P. to the penny.
It is time.
It is crazy that we were still doing that.
Yeah, I agree. President Trump directed the Treasury Department to stop making them because pennies cost about a nickel to make. Totally agree.
What are we doing? We're making a thing that nobody cares about. You just throw them in your little what do you call it? Your little ashtray in your car, because you don't have really ashtrays in there. You just throw them in your car and then they sit there for years.
That's it.
And it seems like we have plenty of them, and we can always make them again if we need to, right?
Yeah, but definitely not for 5 cents on the penny.
Do we have 20 seconds here, Rach?
Yeah.
Everything that Elon Musk could buy if he gets his $1 trillion. 1,500 Shohei Ohtanis. Every single car sold in the United States this year 10,000 Starbucks CEOs, 350 skyscrapers, the entire Ivy League 5 times over, or give every single person in the United States $3,000.
I vote for that one.
Yeah.
Wake up informed. Wake up empowered. Wake up to Total Information AM, your morning must.
Hi, this is Debbie Monterey. I'm Megan Lynch.
This is Tom Ackerman. From local news to breaking headlines to weather, traffic, and the stories that matter most, we've got you covered before your first sip of coffee. Expert analysis, bright perspectives from the people you trust. Total Information AM. Your day starts here. Mornings beginning at 5 on 104.1 FM. KMOX.
Don't get lulled into believing the IRS is getting soft. It's just the opposite. Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. We are being told by IRS collection officers that their higher-ups are demanding that they get more aggressive than ever. So don't ignore them any longer. Level up. If you have unfiled returns, unpaid taxes, levies, or liens, call the Lance Story Law Firm today and let us get between you and the IRS. We'll protect your rights, including your right to appeal or even your right to take the IRS to tax court. Remember, IRS problems are legal problems, and they need to be handled by an expert attorney team who's done it for decades. So call the Lance Story Law Firm today. We're local. Our office is right here in St. Louis, or visit Lance, DRURY, law.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm, the Lance Story Law Firm, 314-260-6120.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
For 100 years, KMOX has been part of St. Louis. Now, Together Credit Union is helping celebrate that legacy. Starting in November, visit any Together Credit Union branch to pick up a KMOX 100th anniversary commemorative ornament for just $5 while supplies last. Each ornament supports Children's Miracle Network of Greater St. Louis. Together Credit Union, honoring 100 years of KMOX, the voice of St. Louis, and Children's Miracle Network of Greater St. Louis, improving the health of all children.
Let's check in with Dave Murray's weather forecast.
That winter feel is long gone. It's a nice afternoon, partly sunny skies, 65. And overnight tonight, it's quite mild for this time of year. Partly cloudy, 52 for the low. That's quite a bit warmer than the last couple of nights. Friday, mostly sunny. Let's call it wonderful for this time of year. The high 75. Friday night, we only go down to 60. Saturday, sunny and 78. Sunday, cold front passes first thing in the morning, partly sunny skies. Not much moisture to work with, maybe a spot shower Sunday. Basically a dry day, but it is cooler on Sunday, though still above average, 62. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
This report is sponsored by McKelvey Homes.
Hi, I'm Jim Brennan at McKelvey Homes. Have you always wished for a brand new home in an established neighborhood? Select one of our move-in ready custom homes throughout St. Louis, or we will build on your lot. Visit McKelveyhomes.com and move up to McKelvey.
It's the Medicare Advantage annual enrollment period, and Humana knows not everyone has the same needs when picking a Medicare Advantage plan.
Now that I'm retired, I want to enjoy the life I've worked hard to build. So I want a plan that covers me when I'm traveling the country.
Humana has a plan for that.
As a veteran, I want a plan that fills in the gaps my VA coverage doesn't provide, like dental care.
Humana has a plan for that.
I feel good about my health. I just want care and coverage with predictable costs. No surprises.
Humana has a plan for that. With a Humana Medicare Advantage plan, you get coverage and benefits that focus on what matters most to you. Learn more at gethumana.com. Humana, a more human way to healthcare. Humana is a Medicare Advantage HMO and PPO organization with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal.
Honey, is our car still under warranty?
No, not anymore.
My sister just got an extended service plan from Ox Car Care.
Ox Car Care?
Yeah, Ox will cover our repair bills if anything happens to our car, new brakes, a transmission, AC, or engine problems. Plus, Ox Car Care offers free oil changes, tire rotation, and roadside assistance.
Wait a minute, we pay nothing on the repairs? Ox gets it fixed for us? Free oil changes, free tire rotation, and free roadside assistance? What's the number?
800-221-6319. Ox has a 30-day money-back guarantee and an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau. They handle their claims from start to finish, unlike other warranty companies. We should call now. 800-221-6319.
The last thing we need is an unexpected car repair bill. I'm calling Ox Car Care now.
Call Ox Car Care for your free quote. 800-221-6319. Ask about senior and military discounts. Don't get stuck with a major car repair bill. Call Ox Car Care, 800-221-6319, or go to oxcarcare.com.
Sunday, the Chiefs head to Denver to face the Broncos.
Siteman Cancer Center game time, 2 p.m. Siteman Cancer Center, national leaders in cancer.
The Chiefs, the Broncos. Catch all the action here on your home for Chiefs football. 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Welcome back, guys. DGS 234. Going to show the stream John Boyardi's new book.
It's official.
Entrepreneur Playbook. He only brought 2 copies.
I know.
We're going to have to fight over these.
I mean, there's a government shutdown, so, it affects everything.
Well, you come back in a year and you see who's more successful. You know who read the book and who didn't.
There you go.
So how are things?
Things are great. Things are busy.
Good.
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
So I wanted to clarify with you, because obviously I'm doing live endorsements for you.
Yes.
And although I know you very well, sometimes I feel like I'm doing them wrong. And what I said today was there are all sorts of financial guys. There are annuity guys. There are whole life guys. There are stock guys. And all of those guys are appropriate for someone.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not really the guy you are.
Correct. What I would say is E3 as a firm, we have advisors that provide those types of solutions to individuals, families, and they do it very well. And that was a business that I got in 30 years ago.
Sure.
That's how I built E3 with
That's where
my
you
partners.
started.
Yep. What I would say is my passion, probably for the last 6 or 7 years, has been working with business owners, entrepreneurs, entrepreneurial minded people. So it's not that isn't me, but if I have a certain amount of time and a certain amount of energy to put towards something, I'm going to put it towards entrepreneurs, because the more I work with them, the more energy I get back, because they're doing a lot of things right, but then the things that they're not doing right, that they would love to figure out to do right, they're trying to find advisors to help them with that. And the pool is very shallow, and the advisor pool there, where they can go and say, okay, you get me. You understand me as an entrepreneur. You think like me. So when you give me a strategy, you're going to give me a strategy based on what you think is in my best interest, not what you do. I'm the account. Well, as the accountant, I'm just going to keep you in my box, not because I think the box is good for you, but that's where I live. I live in the box.
I know the box.
So that's what you're going to do. You're going to stay in this box, where the entrepreneur's like, no, I don't want to be in the box, because the box is making me pay 30% in taxes. I don't know if my assets are structured properly. I don't know if I have the right entities. I might want to sell my business in 5 years, 10 years. Like, am I doing it right? I mean, yes, I'm making money. I'm trying to keep my employees happy. I'm trying to keep my customers happy. Like, I would like to know if all this hard work is worth it, or I'm making a lot of money, but I still got to worry about inflation. I still got to put my kids through school. Like, I've got the same concerns that everybody else has. Maybe I have more money, but as Biggie Small said, more money, more problems. So it's real.
So something I've never asked you, and clearly something I don't understand, is if I'm making $800,000 a year and I'm a W-2 employee and I've got a tax guy, and every year he does my taxes and I go on to the next year.
Mm-hmm.
And Kevin is making $800,000 a year, but he's an entrepreneur.
Yep.
Are we both in similar positions and I'm just sort of missing the boat?
Well, what I would say is, depending on what Kevin's doing within his business and then outside of his business, he has more opportunity to improve his tax and wealth situation, because the tax code is written in a way that if you are entrepreneurial or you are a business owner, you have more incentives. So it's not that financially you're better or worse off. It's my playbook is bigger. I have more plays I can run. So I always say,
is that a good thing?
I think it is, because if you tell me there's incentives for me to invest and put money to work in the economy, and my benefit is I'm going to save on taxes or I'm going to control my financial situation better, I would rather live in a world where I have more options, not less. Now, some people say, well, it's confusing, there's too much stuff, so I don't want to mess with that. Okay, that's fine. The clients we work with, they want to know,
want to mess with it,
all their options, because they've lived in the world where they don't get educated about the options and they know what that is. It's frustrating. And also, too, by the way, people look at them and say, oh, well, you're a successful business owner. You got nothing to worry about. Meanwhile, they're trying to, I got to make payroll. I got to keep my clients happy. I'm worried about, I get sued because of patent infringement or whatever else. And they're like, yeah, you think I have it easy. You have no idea what it took me to get to this position. And now all of a sudden something could go awry and now it's all at risk. They don't want that, right? They want the assurity that, okay, I'm doing the right things in all facets of my financial situation. And the taxes are one of the biggest area we can add value first, right? That's where it starts. And then from there, you can kind of stack the strategies to benefit them over the long term.
So for someone who is making $800,000 as a W-2 employee, are you really no different than someone who's making $80,000? It's just a matter of number?
No, because at that tax bracket, there are other strategies we can also help them with.
Okay.
Yeah. So again, it's just what's available to them. And the more money you are making, you're entering into a tax code where there are more strategies that are available.
Kevin, look like you had a question over there.
I don't understand any of this. I'm in that one group where he's saying the guys that's all a lot and I don't want to think about that. That's my group.
Me too. No, me too.
But I'm also not an entrepreneur. So,
No, I've always said I'm a pretty highly paid W-2 employee who was had to deal with the IRS in about 2004 and had to pay money back because the guy that was doing my taxes got indicted. So I've been there.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, once you've been spanked by the IRS, once you've sat in that room with them, you're less adventurous.
Yeah, I would my response to that, Dave, would be if you have an educated tax team and that tax team has resources like tax attorneys and other folks, like there's a taxpayer bill of rights that exists to protect taxpayers and say, like, the IRS, just because they're the referee, like, they have to operate under a certain code. So you got to know all of your rights, because the IRS might tell you what you have to do. That doesn't necessarily mean that's the only option you have.
That's what happened to me, because we went through the whole meeting and literally this lady just went, what about this expense? No, you don't get that. What about this expense? Okay, you get that. And ended up, okay, you owe the IRS $50,000.
Right.
Wrote a check.
Yep.
Didn't talk to any other professionals because I was so scared.
Absolutely. Yeah. So what we try to say is that fear, if you can replace it with education, then really what you do is you create options and you create confidence that, oh, okay, I'm not saying that our clients don't get letters from the IRS or don't, there aren't questions, but a lot of it has to do with the dysfunction with the IRS. And if you have a tax return that is 250 pages and you have K1s and all this stuff, yeah, there's a probability you're going to have some questions. Instead of looking at the questions as an inquiry, it's not the Spanish Inquisition. It's just, hey, they got some questions. Well, it's quite possible that somebody's just sitting at a desk and it's like, oh, this thing, oh, we don't know this. All right, send out a letter. And it's correspondence. Instead of the client having to go back and, well, yeah, you got to call the IRS. No. We take care of that. So we talk to the IRS because we speak that language.
Yeah.
And if they say something that we're like, I don't think so.
Yeah.
It actually is this.
Yeah.
And this is how we're going to handle it. And if for some reason you're telling me we're incorrect and I'm telling you you're incorrect, then there's a process.
So if Kevin's the IRS agent and I'm the taxpayer and he says, you owe $50,000 and I say, kiss my ass, where does it go? Who makes the decision?
What you would do is you would get your your tax person, you give them power of attorney. They would have the conversation with the IRS and they would work through that process. Because the question is, they're saying you owe money. What we're going to ask is, well, why are you saying that? Show us what you changed, because we think the numbers are different. And then it's a process by which you go through to navigate that. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're not going to owe the $50,000, but here's the key thing. When we get a response back from the IRS initially saying you owe $50,000, we're going to be able to look at it and say, no, what they're probably doing is they're misinterpreting this, or they're wanting to change this. So we're going to have better knowledge of why this is happening. And then that way you go in with an educated conversation. You don't let the IRS dictate the conversation. We come back and say, okay, is this why you're doing this? And if so, here's what we think you're missing.
This is the best segment ever. No, this is really great.
Yes.
Like, we have John on because he's a client, but this is such great information.
Well, and that is, again, my personal feeling as an entrepreneur. There's a lot of things that I do personally that I talk with clients and they're like, well, no, that's too risky, or, oh, getting into real estate is too, or, everybody looks at something that somebody else is doing and has, their framework or their lens on it. So for us, what we're doing is when we learn so many different things from so many different clients, we can bring those experiences back and kind of help people say, no, we've seen this before, or we've had clients do that. Now, yeah, it might be risk. You might be taking more risks than you want to, but also we know clients make money a lot of different ways, like owning businesses, owning real estate, stock market investing, commodities. Like, you can make money a lot of different ways. And there's a lot of ways in the tax code to save on taxes. But people look at it as a zero-sum game. Like, well, if I'm winning, somebody has to lose. That's not how it works. Like, just because you're saving on taxes, that doesn't mean the IRS is losing money. It's your legal right to pay the least amount of taxes possible. That's the law. So as long as we follow the law and say, okay, well, here's the incentives, like, we're doing what they say in the tax code, you're going to pay less money because somebody else pays more taxes. You didn't cheat the IRS because you're paying less taxes. You just used the playbook. You said, this is what I know I can do because I got the right team.
One final question. So we've been talking about taxes this whole time. Obviously, IRS agents are human beings. They have good days, bad days. Someone's very kind, someone's a jerk. But in general, dealing with the IRS and the agents, do you find them to be, we're going to get you, or are they fairly reasonable?
I think they're overwhelmed. I think a lot of them, and there's been a lot of turnover. I think they're put in a really unfortunate position where you're talking to them about things that they might not have a lot of knowledge on, right? So there's levels, and normally the first people you talk to, answering the phones or answering questions, like what you're talking about, they're probably looking it up in a database to try and figure things out. And when you really need to get to somebody who can like answer your questions, it's going to have to go up 2 or 3 levels. So you have to have patience, and you have to understand that this is a process, right? But you do need to get to a human being who can think logically and work through things. And unfortunately, sometimes that takes a lot of time. And that's where a lot of people, I think, say, well, I don't want to mess with it. So they're like, no, let's just not worry about, well, let's just pay our taxes. We have a different mindset on that.
Okay, you can get the Entrepreneur Playbook or talk to John by going to E3 Wealth, the letter E, the number 3, e3wealth.com. Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Overhead Door Company of St. Louis, the genuine, the original, present 100 years of KMOX.
Please welcome one of the game's all-time greats.
There, when legends were born.
Stan Musial, another left-handed hitter. The slugger of the cards stands in there.
Listen to the crowd. Everybody up on their feet. Stan waits. Here's the pitch. Line drive, there it is! Into left field! Hit number 3,000! A run is scored! Musial around first! On his way to second with a double! Holy cow, he came through!
Stan is certainly the man here in town, and always has been and always will be.
For my mother and the Musial family, for making me a Cardinal forever. Thank you.
There for every headline, every heartbreak, every heartbeat. KMOX, the voice of St. Louis. Brought to you by St. Louis Public Library, St. Louis's original search engine.
Discover one of St. Louis's greatest treasures, St. Louis Public Library's Central Library. Designed by world-renowned architect Cass Gilbert and completed in 1912, this Beaux Arts masterpiece blends stunning historic details with modern design after a $70 million award-winning renovation. Experience the grandeur for yourself. Free docent-led tours are available Mondays at 11 and 12:30 and Saturdays at 11 noon and 1 p.m. Visit online at slpl.org to learn more. St. Louis Public Library.
Lots of cool stuff going on with Schnucks lately. Check out the bistro case in the deli section if you haven't already. This is just a great alternative. If you don't feel like cooking, but you also don't feel like doing the takeout thing, Schnucks makes it easy for you to pick up something delicious, nutritious, and reasonably priced. So stop by the deli and ask for a sample next time you're shopping in store. Also, the next time you're shopping in store, check out those digital shelf tags around the store. See what else just got a new lower price. Schnucks is always lowering the prices on items across the store, and they've just done another wave on things like Schnucks shredded cheese, Pillsbury Grands biscuits, Campbell's Chunky Soup, Oscar Mayer Lunchables. These are all things that are so easy to grab and cover lunch for yourself and your kids without breaking your budget. Those prices that you see too, they're not a sale. These are everyday low prices that you can count on when you shop at Schnucks.
Discover the life you want at Fairwinds River's Edge in St. Charles. We deliver a life-enhancing environment that nourishes the mind, body, and spirit as residents lean into joy and embrace purpose in a new age of senior living. Simply put, we have your back so you can put your best foot forward. Join us Wednesday, December 3rd for our holiday craft fair, followed by happy hour with BB Boomers. Visit Fairwinds River's Edge on Facebook to learn more.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Cunahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions and bring you a special Black Friday offer.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have Leaf Filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal. And now, as a special Black Friday offer, you can get a free gutter inspection, plus up to 35% off. This is our best offer of the season. Unlock it now at leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
Help KMOX make the holiday season brighter for St. Louis area children by supporting TSO Tuesdays, benefiting Sightman kids at St. Louis Children's Hospital. On Tuesdays, Sugar Fire will donate a portion of their TSO Tuesday special to Sightman kids at St. Louis Children's Hospital. And don't miss Trans-Siberian Orchestra, The Ghosts of Christmas Eve at Enterprise Center, December 23rd at 3 p.m. Get your tickets today for this holiday tradition. All you need to know at KMOX.com.
Cold weather is coming, and heatupstlouis.org needs your help now. Your dollars can help keep the heat on for Missouri and Illinois veterans and families struggling with high utility bills. Donate today at heatupstlouis.org or drop a check to Heat Up St. Louis at any area Commerce Bank.
Welcome back, gang. DG Aslan KMOX. Happy Thursday, 2:52. We also have a question for you about sports, guys. I understand lawyers. Everyone learns the same thing. Some of them are especially smart, have a special acumen for it, have a talent in the courtroom. They're great communicators. Got it. I understand radio people, you know, like we all do the same thing, but some people are just special. They're especially charming. They're especially smart. They're especially funny. I don't quite get it with sports guys because it seems to me that everything you know, I could know, right?
Well, I mean, just like if I went to law school, I could know what you know.
Yes. What makes a sports guy special to you? That if I could know everything Gould knows or everything that Bernie knows, but on any given day, they come out with a take that is superior to mine. You feel me?
Well, it's a mix, and it's going to vary by person, right? It's going to be more like music than anything else, where you're like, I like that band because that band appeals to me for whatever reason, or I like that style of music. So there's some taste to it, right? Because some people love the hot takers. They love the ones that just stir up the stuff and give you something exciting to think about. Other people hate that. So it can vary, right? But you have to have a couple of things, I think, universally. One is you have to have some kind of personality. It can be the yeller, it can be the funny guy, it can be the, I know all the details kind of thing. You got to have some kind of identifiable personality, because that's kind of going to be where people are drawn to you.
Okay, for example, Costas.
Yeah.
What was it about Bob that made him stand out and have this great career?
So aside from the basics, he sounds good. He's very well spoken, so he can clearly communicate to you the ideas that he's trying to communicate, right? He's great at that. But it's also, he's not what we are, though. He's a little bit different animal in the sense that he's more play-by-play and interviewer than presenter of opinions, although he will do that as a guest, right? If you bring him on, he's got opinions, and he's great at explaining them. And even if you might disagree with the premise, you see where he's coming from.
Yeah.
Right. Because he's got a really good base of knowledge. So you've got to start with that. You got to do your homework. And your homework as a sports guy is you've got to watch games. You've got to talk to people that play the games if you didn't yourself. And even if you did play, you still need to talk to people that are doing it now as opposed to doing it whenever it was that you did it.
Speaking of Costas, we can now announce this. It's been sort of secret up until now. But next Thursday, I believe, is November 20th, 11:20 a.m. It's KMOX Day.
Yeah.
And every year we celebrate it. This year happens to be our 100th anniversary, which is Christmas Eve coming up. And so all day next Thursday, we're blowing out the schedule, and we are mixing and matching talent during their normal times. For example, I will be on next Thursday from 10 to noon, co-hosting that hour with Charlie Brennan, presenting Bob Costas.
Oh.
And then
how much is he hanging out for that?
I think he'll be on for about an hour and a half of that.
Oh my God.
I know.
That'd be great.
I know. And then Wheels will be hosting a couple of hours. Debbie, like all the usual suspects. But it should be a way, especially for those of you who are in the KMOX, who are my age or older, bringing back a lot of the OGs. It's going to be a lot of fun. So
great. I've seen the list.
Pretty impressive.
It's a hell of a list.
Theodorf and Ann and just like
Joe Buck will be a part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a lot of names that you'll recognize from people that obviously all of those people at some point worked here, but even others more recently.
Yes.
Like you mentioned, Charlie, he's going to be a big part of it. We'll have the list is crazy cool.
So that's coming up next Thursday.
Good. You should ask Bob that question you asked me.
Yeah, I think I will.
Yeah. He's one of the originals. So, he's one of the guys that kind of helped. I wouldn't say originals, but he's of that time where what we do a lot now is based on the work that those guys were doing in that era.
Let me tell you guys about what's going on with Hardee's and Operation Food Search. Hopefully this is just sort of a formality, just a reminder, because if you're a consistent DGS listener for more than a year, then you know that for the past 7 years, we have partnered with Hardee's and raised money for Operation Food Search. And we get a lot of credit for this, which is why I'm always very quick to point out that the credit is with the DGS audience. Every year, I make my family's donation. Rach makes her donation. So we do, what we can do. But we're not going to raise $60,000, $70,000 in a year between the four of us. So we always depend on you. In 7 years, you have raised $638,000. This year, we're going for 700 plus. And you should be very proud of yourselves because 2018 to 2024, 3,200 kids a year receive a full school year of weekend meals via Operation Backpack because of the DGS. So thank you for your support. Get your asses out to Hardee's, get some great food, give them $1, $5, $10, $20, get the new DGS 25th anniversary sticker, and let's help some people out.
At Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital, every moment with our patients is a gift. This holiday season, you can be the reason children have hope as they fight serious illness and reach milestones once thought impossible. Your gift provides life-saving care to those who need it most. Please donate today at treeofhope.org and be the reason a child has hope for tomorrow.
This is Kyle Bush with Cringe Financial Group. For over 6 decades, we've helped St. Louis families and businesses plan with purpose and live with confidence. How many times have you changed jobs over the years? If you're like many professionals, you may have left behind one or more 401ks. Unwatched, unmanaged, and potentially your largest retirement asset. Just because it's out of sight doesn't mean it should be out of mind. Let's make sure it's working as hard for your future as you are. Your goals, our mission, start today at kfgadvisors.com.
Securities offered through Raymond James Financial Services, member FINRA/SIPC. Prince Financial is not a broker-dealer.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Cunahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions and bring you a special Black Friday offer.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have Leaf Filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install a Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal. And now, as a special Black Friday offer, you can get a free gutter inspection, plus up to 35% off. This is our best offer of the season. Unlock it now at leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
This is Congressman Bob Onder. In September, House Republicans passed a bill to keep the government open by extending funding at current levels. Now Washington liberals are holding the American people hostage. They shut down your government and are demanding Medicaid for illegal aliens and funding for woke projects, which would cost taxpayers $1.5 trillion. Now federal workers are missing paychecks. That's unacceptable. Throughout the shutdown, our offices will remain open to help you, our constituents. Go to onder.house.gov to find the office closest to you.
Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
This fall, get a taste of what's to come at Dragonstone, an exclusive new Lombardo Homes community in Darden Prairie, west of Highway K and south of 364. Join us Saturday, November 15th at our Inverness display in O'Fallon for a grand opening celebration filled with treats, a cozy coffee bar, mini pumpkin pies, and a first look. Dragonstone, building Tradition Series homes and offering only 5 spacious home sites. Dragonstone offers luxury and privacy, as well as the convenience of living just minutes from Highways 364 and 64. Visit LombardoHomes.com for more information.
Celebrating 100 years of informing and entertaining. KMOX AM St. Louis, KMOX FM Hazelwood, the voice of St. Louis.
At 3:01, we have sunshine and 67 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Maria Akina, in from Michael Calhoun. As the government cranks into gear following the longest shutdown in history, what to do about healthcare and those expiring Obama subsidies? Well, CBS News congressional correspondent Caitlin Huey-Burns tells us there's a question as to whether Republicans in either the House or Senate will propose their own health care plan.
In the House, whatever comes out of the Senate, if anything passes, is a non-starter. The House has said that they aren't going to commit to the same vote on those healthcare subsidies, that they want to fix the healthcare system, but Republicans, at least on the House side, don't necessarily believe that extending those subsidies is the way to do it.
Meanwhile, while President Trump takes a victory lap from last night's vote, he did tell 60 Minutes he wants to work with Democrats to fix the healthcare system. CBS News senior White House and political correspondent Ed O'Keefe.
He said last night he likes the concept of allowing Americans to get money and then go out and spend it how they please. Some would say, well, that's kind of the system that's in place. And if you have any other alternative, present it and hold votes on it in Congress.
Striking union machinists are ratifying a new contract with Boeing.
The deal ends in over 100-day-long strike with a new 5-year contract approved by 68% of the union. Marshall Daniels has been with the union for over 40 years and believes the strike was worth it.
I feel it was very much worth it. It should let the big companies know that
You just can't push people around.
In a statement, IAM District 837 said, quote, "We're proud of what our members have fought for together and are ready to get back to building the world's most advanced military aircraft." Sean Malone, KMOX News.
Concerns are being raised in Washington about the abundance of drones and whether there needs to be more federal regulation on them.
Chair of the House Transportation Committee, Sam Graves of Northern Missouri, says his committee is considering legislation. Graves, a pilot, tells of his experience with a drone during an air show in Georgia as he waited in the wings.
I saw it just out of the corner of my eye, and then it went by in a flash and almost hit the windscreen. On the airplane that I was flying was a drone that was in the air illegally because it was in controlled airspace. And, it was up there taking pictures, evidently, is what it was doing, and it almost hit me. It would have taken the aircraft out.
Graves tells MissouriNet affiliate KFEQ in St. Joseph that he agrees with those who say drones could become a national security threat if in the wrong hands, and that drug cartels are reportedly using drones to protect their operations. Beth Coughlin, KMOX News.
At 3:03, it is time for an update of the St. Louis Business Index. Here's Stifel Senior Vice President for Investments, Scott Bedell. Good afternoon, Scott.
Good afternoon, Maria. Hello, everyone. After a record high finish yesterday, today's broad sell-off was a real eye-opener. At today's close, the Dow Jones Industrial Average fell 797 points, or just about 1 2/3% to 47,456. The Standard & Poor's 500 index sank 1 2/3% to 6,737, while the NASDAQ Composite Index tumbled 2.3% to 22,870. The Bloomberg St. Louis Stock Index also feeling the downside pressure, off 1.3% at 1,561. Just a couple of St. Louis stocks moving higher. Bayer Corporation up 2 3/4% at $8.60. Olin Corporation gained 4.3% at $20.77. On the downside, Stifel Financial slid 2.4% at $122.04. Emerson Electric lost 3% at $128.46. And finally, Commerce Bank dropped 1 1/4%. They finish at $53.62. This has been Scott Bedell from Stifel Financial, member SIPC and New York Stock Exchange. For more information on our firm, we invite you to visit our website at stifel.com.
Check of traffic right now for eastbound 364 drivers by 94. Watch out. An earlier accident was blocking, it looks like, the 2 left lanes. They might be getting that cleared up right about now. A check of the forecast with Dave Murray.
For the middle of November, it is a delightful afternoon. And guess what? It's only going to get warmer. Partly sunny skies and nice today. 65 for the high. It does not cool off very quickly this evening, and it's not too bad overnight. Partly cloudy. 52 for the overnight low. Wow. Friday, mostly sunny and wonderful. 75 for the high, the record 81. So I think that's going to be safe. Friday night, partly cloudy. We only go down to 60. Saturday, sunny and 78. Records 81 from 1971 on Saturday. Close. Sunday, partly sunny, maybe a spot shower, but it's cooler. 62. Still easy to take. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM. KMOX.
St. Peter's has 69 degrees, Florissant 67, and downtown at the Arch, we have 67 degrees. I'm Maria Kina, KMOX News.
Sponsored by the Moolah Shrine Center Festival of Trees.
Hello, everyone. I want to invite you to the Moolah Festival of Trees. Come see over 40 of the best decorated trees you'll ever see. Adult tickets are only $2 and kids under 12 are free. November 22nd through the 29th at the Moolah Shrine Center.
The Dave Glover Show is sponsored by the Michaels Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts. IGotFloored.com.
Welcome back, guys. DGS 104.1 FM KMOX. Happy Thursday. A few minutes past 3 p.m., we have our pal Janelle here with us, who does our movie reviews and entertainment stuff. And we were just talking. She's watching Pluribus now on Apple, which is my new favorite show. The 3rd episode comes out tonight. Really looking forward to it. And I am new to Vince Gilligan. I didn't watch Saul. I didn't watch Breaking Bad. I've seen a lot of it on TikTok, so I got the general idea. Mm-hmm. But I was just saying to Janelle, like, as writers, I could write something, but it would be like a Ritz cracker with cheese as opposed to a beef Wellington, right? Like when someone is really good, even if you're not a writer yourself, you don't know what's going on, but you know something's going on.
Oh yeah. No, I mean, it's one of those things where a lot of, I was explaining to Kevin the other day, there's a lot of most movies are 3s. It's rare that you see a movie and it's like 4 or 5 and you're like, whoa. But that a lot of times comes with that. I mean, like Vince Gilligan is just that guy. He just knows how to put together a series.
And you know, it seems to me, please correct me if you disagree. It seems to me that bad writing trumps good acting.
Oh yeah. And especially there are some actors that, let's say Chris Evans, for example, if you give him a bad script, he cannot do anything with it. But when he's given good writing, like we were talking about the Knives Out movie with Rian Johnson, excellent. He just does so good. But then, like I said, you give him something bad and you're just like, oh, this is so painful to watch. And yeah, it can make and break. It's a whole little recipe of how good can an actor pull bad writing out, and some of them just can't.
So if you just wanted to go to Hollywood and be successful, would you think that there's more of a demand for good writers than good actors?
Yeah, I would think you would need, I think a good writer is always going to be in demand. I mean, good directors are always, I mean, as you can see, they're always in demand, but look at the scripts they pull. They're not given crap and then try to make, like a crap sandwich out of it. They don't take those projects.
Yeah.
So yeah,
what did you see lately?
This week has been so boring. I saw The Running Man and I saw Jay Kelly, and I was bored to tears with both of them, and that's so unfortunate for me.
Yeah, you were really looking forward to Running Man.
I was. And now, in saying that, let's talk about the good. It does. It is a better adaptation of the book. It's Stephen King's. It's his last one that I think he published is Richard Bachman, 1982. Very dark, very dystopian, super gross, the way most Stephen King novels are. The 1987 Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, outside of, the premise of The Running Man and him using the same character names, it was not the book at all.
Yeah.
This one was, this one, if you'd read the book, exactly, it hit all the parts in the book and everything. It kept towing that line of dark. It didn't, like, it's almost like it didn't know what tone to be. It tried really hard. It would go and then it would pull back, and then it would be kind of cheesy and pull back. And you're kind of left feeling like you're all over the place. And Glenn Powell can do two things really well. He can be cocky really well, and he can be charming really well. He cannot be angry, bitter guy. And it's just not in his wheelhouse.
I'm good at that.
Yeah. He can be his body double.
Well, after you see the movie, there's not many people that could be a body double.
Under what circumstances?
I could be double his body.
Twice the Glenn Powell.
Glenn Powell 2.0.
So, to whom and under what circumstances would you recommend watching the movie?
I would say if you want to see an adaptation, if you really like the book and you want to see a better adaptation of the book, go see it. I wouldn't spend more than $5 or $6 on one of those Tuesday or Wednesday special days to go see it. I think you would. It's boring. Even the action is boring. Like the action that they inject into it, which is not all the time in the book. It's just very flat. It's just a very flat movie, which is very disappointing. So
this is not a Dave Glover 1999 special.
Please don't.
Yeah. Wait for streaming, buddy.
All right, I don't want a message later like, that was the worst purchase of my life.
I just wasted $24.
I'm saying right now, this is on the record. Please do not spend $20 on this movie.
And I'm not familiar with the other film.
Jay Kelly it had a whole bunch of hype around the film festivals. It's got Adam Sandler, George Clooney, Laura Dern, Stacy Keach, Emily Mortimer. It's got a whole host of people in this movie. And I don't know if you ever watched A Real Pain, like the I don't want to say it was like a buddy movie, but it was with Jesse Eisenberg.
The Cousins.
Yes.
Yeah, I did not.
That is a great out of the country road trip movie where people are like, there's emotional things going on, a lot of talking. This, I don't want to say this is what it's trying to be, but it's very self-indulgent. If you are not a George Clooney fan, you are going to be like, wow, like I can't, that's bold. Because it's about an aging movie star coming to terms with like his regrets and his personal relationships and stuff like that. And it's about him. I mean, and anything you read in any of the Vanity Fair articles and everything that was out there about it, it's supposed to kind of reflect him, and you're just like, it feels a little much. Feels a little in there. Now, there are some people that just absolutely love the movie, and they're like, I connected with it in all kinds of ways, and I had to keep shifting in my seat to stay awake. So,
can we go back to Begonia for a minute?
Sure.
That's how you say it, right?
Yeah.
I was at happy hour last night with a friend / client, and she had seen it, and she said,
without spoilers,
and she's very animated.
Okay.
No, she didn't give me spoilers.
Okay.
She just said that was the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Yes.
I hated it.
Okay.
But the person I watched it with, we haven't stopped talking about it.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, I can see that. It is if you, again, I mean, I hate to always refer back to the original, They Say the Green Planet from, I keep wanting to say South Korea. It's a wacky film. It is out there. It is a mind trip. It really is. That's what it is. This one was a little bit of the same story, but a lot more talky, a lot less action, a lot less craziness. So I can only imagine what she might think of the original, the OG.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but the thing is, acting is good. Did she say the person that she saw it with loved it?
No, they both had the same. They both hated it.
Okay.
And talked about how stupid it was.
Okay.
But then she said the next morning they were talking about it, and the next day they're talking about it, and
because the ending will throw you for a loop. Yes, it is. Again, I don't want to give spoilers to anybody that hasn't seen it, but it is definitely you don't see it happening. And it might feel a little hokey and jarring compared to the rest of the movie, but it did what it did. It got her talking about it.
I'm so distracted right now.
Oh no.
I'm always distracted by the stream.
Sorry.
I love and hate the stream because I'm doing a thing here.
Sure.
I'm doing a 4-hour friggin' show, and I always have to read the stream to see what people are saying.
Okay.
And sometimes it's weird. And I'm trying to follow along. I'm like, who's discussing cats? And it's Beppy Cat, who's with us almost every day, and Rachel. And Rachel's like, have you seen the wrapping paper Christmas photo trend people are doing with their cats? I'm tempted. No. Is it a backdrop? I got to go find the cat trend. I've missed out. Oh, you cut a hole in the sheet of... I'm like, what?
I'm sorry. She told me about something she saw for cats for Christmas, and I had to do it. I'm sorry.
Totally fine. It's as good a use of the stream as it.
It's great. It's a lot nicer than
it's
a lot of
nicer.
days.
Yeah.
A lot of days it's out of hand.
The trend is basically you take a sheet of wrapping paper and then like make a hole in the center and just put your cat's head through the hole.
Right.
And so you're basically just photographing their head with the beautiful Christmas paper backdrop. It's very cute.
Okay.
They make very funny
What if we did that for the show?
Yeah, let's do it with Dan.
All of us.
Yeah.
Individually and as a team.
I like it.
It's a lot of wrapping paper, though.
Yeah, Janelle was asking if it's so hot in here, why am I wearing my beanie? And Steve, our boss, asked me that yesterday, and I told him the same thing.
Okay.
And here's the absolute truth. I know that I'm bald. I am comfortable with the fact that I am bald.
Yeah.
But when the fall comes and I put the beanie on, I feel more like myself. I feel more attractive, even though I might not be, but it's in my head. Not like I'm wringing my hands at home, but when it gets warmer, I'm like, damn it. Because when I pull the beanie off, I'm like, look at that, how much skin there is above my eyebrows. So that's why I keep wearing the beanie. And then when the spring comes and I take it off, it's nice because spring's here. but so is bald season. So.
Oh my God.
I hear from sellers all the time that they fear they have missed out on the selling market. They are so relieved to learn September, October, and November are strong selling months. With low inventory and hopefully lower interest rates, this fall will be a hot one for real estate. I'm Christina Straight, owner of Straight Realty. You may have heard me say, why pay more than 4 for years? Now it's why pay more than 2, saving you even more money. Call me 314-441-4444. And remember, why pay more than 2?
Straight Realty is a licensed broker in the state of Missouri, Kansas, and Nevada.
Here in St. Louis, we take pride in supporting our health and our community. That's why more and more families are turning to Neovitin multivitamins, created by a local physician and made right here in the U.S. using the highest quality domestic and international ingredients. With formulas for men, women, and adults 50 plus, Neovitin helps keep St. Louis families energized, supported, and ready for life. Find Neovitin at your local Deerbergs, Schnucks, and online at neovitin.com. Neovitin, trusted nutrition from St. Louis for St. Louis.
Hey, what's up, flies? This is David Spade. Dana Carvey. Look, I know we never actually left, but I'll just say it. We are back with another season of Fly on the Wall. Every episode, including ones with guests, will now be on video. Every Thursday, you'll hear us and see us chatting with big-name celebrities. And every Monday, you're stuck with just me and Dana. We react to news, what's trending, viral clips. Follow and listen to Fly on the Wall everywhere you get your podcasts.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Cunahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions and bring you a special Black Friday offer.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have Leaf Filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal. And now, as a special Black Friday offer, you can get a free gutter inspection, plus up to 35% off. This is our best offer of the season. Unlock it now at leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
It's the Medicare Advantage annual enrollment period, and Humana knows not everyone has the same needs when picking a Medicare Advantage plan.
Now that I'm retired, I want to enjoy the life I've worked hard to build. So I want a plan that covers me when I'm traveling the country.
Humana has a plan for that.
As a veteran, I want a plan that fills in the gaps my VA coverage doesn't provide, like dental care.
Humana has a plan for that.
I feel good about my health. I just want care and coverage with predictable costs. No surprises.
Humana has a plan for that. With a Humana Medicare Advantage plan, you get coverage and benefits that focus on what matters most to you. Learn more at gethumana.com. Humana, a more human way to healthcare. Humana is a Medicare Advantage HMO and PPO organization with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal.
Retiring soon? Get the information you need by joining Kyle Jones and Matt Allgeier of Fira Capital Management for Your Retirement Highway, Sunday mornings at 9:30. Investment advisory services made available through Pine Ridge Advisors, LLC, registered investment advisors. Securities made available through AE Financial Services, LLC, member FINRA and SIPC.
Hi, everybody. Tom Calhoun, your PA voice of the St. Louis Blues. Congratulations to KMOX, 100 years strong as the voice of St. Louis.
Welcome back, DGS on KMOX. One more topic here, which now that we're going to do a DGS happy hour, so guys, get your happy hour topics ready. We're just discussing Death by Lightning, the story about Gateau killing James Garfield. And in it, you just need to know, you don't need to know going in, but I'll give you a little, primer that they use modern language sometimes.
Mhm.
And I didn't get it until like this. I didn't know they were doing that. And they asked Chester Arthur something. And he goes, right? And I was like, boy, that's awfully 2025.
Right.
But that's just something that they do.
Mhm.
That was an interesting choice.
Yeah, when I was trying to explain the last week that it was very irreverent, that it was not written in your typical kind of historical prose, it's hard to explain because they're the only the only examples I could think of using all had the F word, and I was like, well, I can't say those. But it's like I explained, it doesn't have like a lot of. I don't want to say like not that a lot of thous and those, but if you had heard like if you pair that like against John Adams, that like documentary, it's not in the same vein at all. It's very, I don't want to say dumbed down for your your typical audience, but it's very modern, so you can immediately thrust yourself into that story.
It's also amazing that historically, Grant was the president.
Mhm.
Everyone loved Grant.
Actually, Rutherford B. Hayes was the president at that time. Grant had been the
He had
president.
been.
Yes.
Yes.
Right. Mhm.
And then Garfield's a nobody. And gives a 4-minute speech. And everyone's like, hey, how about that guy?
Yeah, that's what because I watched the first episode. I haven't seen past it, but that was a jarring thing. Like, I'm not sure that's a great thing. Like back in the day, if you just had 4 great minutes, they were like, we want you.
Yeah, you're going to be president.
Yeah, but I think that's how they that's how they
No,
did
I
it.
get
Yeah,
it. But
it's
like you have a whole candidate list of like, okay, we vetted these 5 and they're the ones. And then one guy makes one little tiny speech and it's like,
I don't think
nah.
they're vetted. I mean, if
Well,
you
they were the top candidates. They had all the support. And then all it took was one guy.
Yeah.
To start that
Yeah, to
process.
stop
And then
that train
everybody
rolling.
kept thinking on going, that guy said some nice words for 4 minutes. He should be the guy that leads us.
Well, that and they were tired of being bullied by the New York.
No, that's the truth part. They had the
the-
New Jersey senator who's who's great, by the way. I love that
He was
guy.
really good.
Yeah.
Rach, got a topic?
I do. I'm wondering if you guys think I'm too paranoid. Often the answer is yes. I have a tendency to be paranoid about things, but I keep seeing ads for like, if you need to journal, you can download these apps and just let it all out and all your negative thoughts. You could just tell us. You don't have to tell another person. And since I am a paranoid person, I'm thinking they just want to get all this dirt on me.
I don't think you're being paranoid. Why wouldn't you just write it down on paper?
Well, exactly. So, like, I do like keeping a journal. I've recently taken it back up. It would be easier to do it on my phone because I would have access to it all the time. But yeah, I mean, I just kind of want to, if I need to dump something that I don't necessarily want other people to know, I'm going to just write that down and keep it at my home instead of like, it's in the cloud now and anyone could hack it at any time.
Someone told me, I told you guys that about 6 months ago, the one and only time I've ever been on ChatGPT, I used it for therapy and I was really impressed, right? And then I heard like, oh, by the way, everything you say to ChatGPT, it's just right there.
Right.
You know, and I wouldn't want people reading that because it's my personal life. I didn't say, I didn't say anything, hey, I'm thinking about killing, Wheeler or something like that. But that's, I'm with you, Rach. Yeah, no kid. I don't even know where I'd hit you.
ChatGPT might help you with that.
Where can I shoot Wheeler?
Hit him in the solar plexus.
I feel like I could shoot Wheeler right in the nose. He'd just pound me.
No, I'd probably do the trick.
But no, like, I don't think you're paranoid.
No, I don't either.
I don't
No,
either. That's
not at all.
That's a third party. Then they can be hacked at any time, or they can just go under, and
Or
then
they
what
could
hap-
sell it.
That's what I'm saying. They can, or they can go bankrupt. They can just quit, and at that point, they have all your information.
Better have somebody read the small print. What can they sell? What can they not sell? What happens if they go out of business? Yeah.
Bebby Cat says, I feel like the ChatGPT was good too, but then I realized it was just agreeing with me.
Yes.
100%.
That's what it's built to do.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not terrible for finding like info,
Oh no,
but it's
like,
not great either. Like you have to cross check it to make sure it's not just some random crap.
like once I had it just like create a 14-week Spanish course for me. Like if I was learning, that kind of thing I think is fine. But as far as like, I don't want it to like.
No personal things about you.
I don't need it to be.
What if I made up a fake alter ego and tried to see what it would tell me?
Sounds like fun.
Let's do it.
You're
ChatGPT, I'm going to test you.
I'm whimsical.
Yeah, I'm whimsical.
ChatGPT is asking its friends, like, do you guys think
I
I'm
will be
being
the
paranoid?
whimsical
This
person
guy
that
is
loves
catfishing me.
all the goofy
I
things.
am full of whimsy, and I like air blowing on my behind.
Yeah, I'm going to do the opposite. Like instead of, in Bizarro World, I would
Right.
be Bizarro Wheeler.
That would be weird.
Loves musicals.
I like it.
Let's see what ChatGPT says about that.
We're like now people, they dive into a 4-foot pool and they come out and they can play the piano. Like maybe that happened to you.
The Cardinals season may be over, but in St. Louis, sports never stop. The Chiefs are chasing another championship. Mizzou football is making noise, and the Blues are back on the ice. Every weekday at 5, Rush Hour Sports keeps you ahead of the game with news, traffic, weather, and the biggest stories in sports. Kevin Wheeler, Matt Pauley, and Bernie Nicholas. 3 trusted voices St. Louis fans count on. Rush Hour Sports, weekdays at 5 on KMOX. Purina presents A Century of Service.
This is KMOX Radio.
KMOX is celebrating 100 years of informing and entertaining St. Louis. On November 20th, KMOX Day, we will celebrate the KMOX pioneers.
This is Jim White for your information.
Legendary voices.
KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
Groundbreaking programming.
KMOX Radio. We're at your service.
And unforgettable moments that have defined a century of broadcasting.
We did locate Ben this afternoon, and we've also located Sean Harnbeck.
Hear from current and former KMOX personalities who have helped make this station the preeminent news, information, and sports brand in America. A century of service, celebrating 100 years of KMOX, is presented by Purina, your pet, our passion, on the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Many of you know that my inspiration for becoming an accident attorney was my brother Tim, who was rendered a quadriplegic at age 18. I didn't know what a personal injury lawyer was or what they did, but I soon did. Tim was treated terribly by the insurance company, and I became enraged. It was a constant delay and deny. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Tim later worked with me for 27 years. Last year, my hero died at age 65. You can see my eulogy for him by visiting mybrothertim.com. He was one hell of a man. Because of Tim, together we built the largest injury firm in the world, and our clients are treated the way I would want my family to be treated. At Morgan & Morgan, nobody is a nobody and everybody is a somebody. If you need our help, visit forthepeople.com on your phone or computer. See you soon, Tim. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
Injured? Dial #law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Renewal by Andersen is the #1 window and door brand for customer service. Schedule your free inspection today. Call 877-WINDOWS. That's 877-WINDOWS. Or head to rbastl.com.
Traffic from the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
Well, we've got a crash right now westbound on Olive. It looks like it's at the end of the ramp from South 270 getting onto westbound Olive, so it's really blocking on the it's blocking on the ramp and on the westbound lanes of Olive at 270. Southbound 270 is bogged down Dorset. Bumper to bumper through that Olive area remains slow down to 64. After that, a little busy between 44 and Gravois. That part's not that bad. Southbound 170 from Delmar down to 64. There's a couple of slowdowns. Westbound 64 on the brakes. West of Kings Highway out to Clayton Skinker. It's slow approaching Lindbergh to 270. Backed up, ready to get onto the Boone Bridge. And then a couple of slowdowns between 364 and 70. Westbound 70, the bulk of the volume is west of 94 to Zunbelt, TR Hughes to Highway K, A to Z in Wentzville. Southbound 55 looks like we have an incident. I can't tell what's the problem. Something with the dump truck. It's in the right lane, southbound 55, just south of Arsenal. So there's a short backup there. And then the usual backup from Gasconade to Bates. Slow down around Highway Z after that. I'm Roger Brand at the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
Retirement shouldn't feel like balancing a checkbook while blindfolded. I'm Gary Goldberg, and my team helps you see the big picture so you can retire younger, richer, and with less anxiety. Because guessing is not a strategy. Tune in to Wealth and Wisdom with Gary Goldberg Saturday mornings at 7 here on KMOX.
You've got your whole life ahead of you, so choose a Medicare plan you can count on.
And that's what you get with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. With more than 45 years' experience serving its members, United Healthcare has plans with low monthly premiums that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today. United Healthcare Medicare plans. It's Medicare coverage Missouri can count on.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Cunahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions and bring you a special Black Friday offer.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have Leaf Filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install a Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal. And now, as a special Black Friday offer, you can get a free gutter inspection, plus up to 35% off. This is our best offer of the season. Unlock it now at leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
They're playing basketball. Saturday night, it's men's Billikens basketball as they face Grand Canyon. Pre-game 6:45, tip at 7 on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Dave Murray's weather forecast is sponsored by Financial and Tax Strategies.
Dave, this one's for you. You know who this is, right? Keep it going, Ray.
No.
This is PM. Peter Mayer and Roger and Jimmy.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, this was their hit back in the late 80s. Great song called Piece of Paradise.
Yeah, they do a nice, the Mayer brothers do a great job.
They're incredible. I used to go see them at the Lynx Club down on Del Mar with 30 other people. And they were I think they're the best musicians ever to come out of St. Louis, which is a big statement because we have some great musicians who have come out of St. Louis.
Got to throw Roger Guth in there too.
Oh, yeah. Probably the best drummer I've ever played with. Yeah, I mean, like I didn't.
How about that?
He and I weren't sitting down trading chops, but just like I knew him and we talked a lot and he's just incredible.
Neat.
Yeah.
Very neat.
Dave is brought to you by the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk. What were we just? Oh, yeah. Before we get to the forecast, we did I think, really good analysis of the Epstein case in the first hour, which we're going to replay for you at 4:40. So if you want to listen to it, you can tune back in then or you can podcast it. But I took a very, very lawyerly approach. No hatred for Trump, no love for Trump. Just let's look at the evidence. Let's look at the proofs. Let's look at the bricks in the wall. And it's been all over the CNN and Fox News today. We're watching the little, scrims going by on the television that it looks like there is a GOP. What's the word I'm looking for? Not like being a traitor, but the GOP is going to go against Trump in the House voting on the Epstein files. And I guess there's more and more evidence behind the scenes that the GOP representatives are more afraid of their constituency in voting against releasing this material than they are afraid of Trump.
Interesting.
And Janelle brought up that there are right-wing pundits who are making the claim and the narrative that, hey, we're not talking about pedophilia here. So can you read what Megyn Kelly tweeted out?
I will do it, but I'm hesitant because I do not want my voice saying these words on the radio. So I'm going to make sure that I pause every few seconds to say, this is Megyn Kelly. These are Megyn Kelly's words, because I don't want this to be anyone going, Wheeler just said this. But Megyn Kelly, this is today, and it looks like it's on her Sirius XM show. Okay. And there's video to it, but this is on her Sirius XM channel. And she said, I know somebody very close to this case, that Jeffrey Epstein, in this person's view, was not a pedophile. And again, Megyn Kelly saying these words, not me. He was into the barely legal type, like he liked 15-year-olds. He wasn't into like 8-year-olds. And again, Megyn Kelly saying this, not me.
Got a nice clip of Kevin saying
There's
that.
a
We'll be
difference-
using that in the
Yep.
future.
There's a
That's
difference
on,
between
ChatGPT right now.
a 15-year-old and a 5-year-old is what Megyn Kelly
So
said.
basically saying, so long as they're just barely legal, let's not confuse this with pedophilia.
I don't even know what difference you're trying to make. And as I pointed
Well,
out
by the
during
way,
the break,
15-year-olds aren't barely legal.
no,
Thank you.
They're
No.
still children. They're not legal.
No, they're not
And
at
people
all
who
legal.
use
Right.
terms like barely legal are
Right.
freaks, and
Yeah.
we should stay away from
they
them.
are not in any way legal. And as I pointed out during a break, an 18-year-old senior in high school, if he were to sleep with a 15-year-old sophomore, could be charged with statutory rape. They could be 2 years apart in school.
Yeah.
And be classmates.
Much less a 50-year-old
Much less grown-ass humans recruiting.
But this
How do
is-
you go there?
But this is the position the American people are now put in, right?
I'm not in that
then-
position.
But Wheels, you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know. I know exactly what you mean.
People don't want to turn on the situation. You know, people have to come up with things like this to try and make things make sense. And it's very sad. It makes me very sad that Megyn Kelly is saying things like this. What a ridiculous thing to say.
Yeah, like
what
we
a
were-
career-ending thing to say.
It should be.
I mean, if I know what her defense is going to be. Her defense is going to be, I was just relaying what this person told me. That's what her defense is going to be.
Okay.
Right? Well, I mean, because she starts it off by saying, I know somebody who said, and this is their view. So she's going to say, that's not my view. That's what this person told me.
If she catches heat about it.
Oh, she's going to.
No,
Yeah.
she has. But my point being is, I don't think she's going to catch enough heat for
I get you.
to come to
I
even
don't know
make
how
a
you
statement.
don't fire. I mean, again, you're going to have to prove to me that you're quoting someone and not just pretend that you're quoting someone. If I'm your employer, if I'm SiriusXM, you're gone.
Like I said, this is a very black and white. This to me is one of the very few black and white issues there are in the world. And I don't understand how there's any muddying of the water of this or trying to muddy the water of this.
And if you're in Megyn Kelly's spot, if I'm in this spot, okay, let's say I'm sitting here and I had somebody say that to me, I'm not repeating it.
That's a great
I'm
point.
going to tell that person
You really need to
are
think
an
about
idiot.
that.
Well, yeah, and you would end your quote with, and I told him he was a fool.
Right.
And I told him it doesn't matter. That's still illegal, no matter what the ages of any of these children
One of my
are.
friends told me that they thought Hitler got screwed on this thing.
Exactly.
Like,
So I told him
So
he
I-
was
right,
wrong.
But even on top of that, don't say it.
Right.
Like have that response to the person that said that to you, but you don't come on the air and relay it like it's some kind of legitimate point.
Yeah.
I have a feeling we're going to hear quite a few more people making statements
I think
like
you're,
this.
Yep, I think you're going to see a lot of
I hope not,
massaging
man.
of the age, of a lot of the. This is not children; these were teenagers, and you're going to have teenagers know what they're doing. You see a lot of times where you'll put people in there that are like, they'll say horrible things like, "Well, if they can get pregnant, they're not a child," and you're just like, "That I
Duh.
just can't believe that's where we're going with this."
Wow. What an ugly chapter. Just
It's
terrible.
I mean, again, that's crazy that like right now it's 2025 and that's a thing that somebody said
Yes.
live on a broadcast.
Yes.
Is it just to get hits, do you think?
No.
Is it just
I mean, anything's possible, right? It's relevancy, but I mean, like,
I think they're so
I mean, that
deep.
doesn't.
I think they're so deep in trying to work this out to make their side not look bad that they're doing these mental gymnastics that the rest of us are not we're not going to leap on the bar for. So
Yep. Dave, we still warming up?
Yes, we were 65, 66, 67. I think we're 67 right now. Almost 10 degrees warmer tomorrow. Why? Because we're going to start much warmer. We're going to start the morning at about 55 degrees. So easy to get to 75, short of the record of 81, only 60 for the overnight low Friday night into Saturday morning. That's like above our average high for this time of year.
Wow.
Yeah. Saturday, sunshine, 78 degrees. 81 is the record again. That one's getting a little closer. A dry cold front for the most part comes through Saturday night. So Saturday night, mainly clear. It's colder, but it's not extreme. It's not like the cold snap we came out of. 46 Sunday, partly sunny. I'm going to keep a chance of a spot shower in the morning. I don't think anybody will see it, but it is cooler, but still above average, 60 degrees. The best shot of rain coming up in the near future will be Monday night.
Okay. Dave, I don't expect you to know everything, but you're my science guy. Rach and I are finding ladybugs in our office. Is that a function of this sort of false summer that we're having?
It's a function of up and down. And so when we warm up quickly, they will hatch. Like a lot of other bugs will all of a sudden hatch and they'll be around. But ladybugs also like to come inside this time of year just because it's a little better.
Andrew informed me that they're not ladybugs.
No.
Oh,
there's some other kind of invasive beetle that's been in the news.
Yeah, aren't they like they're called like Asian ladybugs or something? They're like super invasive.
I mean, I guess if you're racist.
They're just
What are you really talking about here, Andrew?
All right, whatever.
The Asian lady beetle.
Yeah, I mean, whatever.
How is the Asian
I didn't name it.
beetle different from the ladybug, if you know?
They're like super invasive. They get into your house. There's hundreds of them swarming all over this building if you
really?
look out the windows and
I
stuff.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Haven't seen them.
Yeah, they were. I thought they were ladybugs too. I'm like, look at that. There's a million ladybugs out there. And he goes, those aren't ladybugs.
Yeah, they're
Well,
more like
in a way they
orangey and
are.
more spots than a ladybug.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Was anyone ever afraid of ladybugs? Because I wasn't.
We used to let them land on us.
Yeah, I love ladybugs.
Ian says they
Great
bite.
for the garden.
Oh,
too.
the invasive ones bite?
They do.
Oh, because I don't think I remember.
Yeah,
a ladybug bite.
they're supposed to. I mean, I've never been bitten by one, but they're supposed to bite. I don't
We're
think
just,
it.
we're just starting stuff now.
The
I don't think it
invasive
like
ones,
hurts.
not the
really.
ladybug, right?
Oh,
The
I
old
mean, I've
school
never been
ladybugs,
bitten by
I never
either.
got bit by one, and they've been around a while.
What have you been bitten by? I've been bitten by spiders.
Yep.
I've been bitten by
Snake?
no. I mean, I had a snake and he would gnaw on me, but
Yeah.
he never like bit me.
Bitten by a dog.
I think if any of us were bitten by a snake, we'd probably be dead.
They're not all venomous.
No, yeah.
There are plenty of them. They're just
As far as I'm concerned, they are.
Bees don't bite though. They just
No,
sting.
yeah, but like, don't wasps bite?
I don't think so. I think
There's
they're
some
all
kind
stingers.
of. There's one of
hornets?
those kind that's a sting. That's a biter.
Horsefly. Those guys.
Yeah, those
suck.
guys suck, and I hate them so much.
I've never been bitten by one because I'm
have
terrified of them. I will literally just run for my
Dude,
life
they
if I
bite
see one.
hard.
Yeah.
But what does it feel like to get bitten
Like
by one?
like somebody sticking a needle in your leg or your arm. Yeah,
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah, you're like, ow.
I've never been stung
about
by
a
a
turtle?
bee or a wasp either because
Oh man,
I run from them.
I got in a bunch of honeybees.
I'm
I've been-
terrified of them.
Wasps, hornets, black,
Yeah, I
yellow
ran
jacket, you
over
name it. I've been bit by them
Yeah.
all, stung by them
I
all.
ran over a hornet's nest with a lawnmower.
I did that, but it was regular bees. Yeah, I did the same thing. Or maybe it
That
wasn't
was-
because
that
they
was
don't go on
not
the ground.
pretty.
Yeah, it's awful. I was like running around the backyard, like it's
Oh,
supposed to be
they
the most
follow you.
hilarious thing.
It's
You're like,
no, we're gonna get you, buddy.
When,
I think I got 4 on them on that time. 4 bites, 4 stings.
When Phoebe was about 4 years old, I took her to Bolger's house, and he had a very nice house. And we're out in the back 40, and she stepped on her first honeybee.
No.
And she started to cry a little bit, and she goes, "I want to leave. I don't like this guy's castle."
Yeah, I got a bunch of. As a kid, you did this, right, Dave? We've talked about this. You ran around barefoot when you were a kid, right?
Always.
Yeah, we did that all the time in our neighborhood. You just be running around, and you got little clovers, and then they're little. But step on one of those guys, and there's stingers in there. You got to go pull that out.
Put a little baking soda on it.
I didn't do that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was a thing. Did it help?
Kind of numbs it up.
Oh, dang it!
I didn't know that either. That's good to know.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Dave. Appreciate it.
You got it.
Traffic from the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
Well, southbound 270 is on the brakes. So slow at doors and on the brakes from 364 down through Olive. We had a crash on Olive at the westbound ramp from the exit there onto Olive that was drawing the attention of drivers and backing up the ramp. It remains heavy down to 64, but after that, just slow 44 down to Gravois. South 170 is busy. Olive all the way down to 64. Westbound 64 itself on the brakes. Kings Highway out to Clayton Skinker. It's slow through Bellevue. It's slow Clayton Worcester to 270. Long Road out to the Boone Bridge. A couple of spots before and after the bridge where it's backing up. And then Lake St. Louis Boulevard out to 70 is pretty heavy. Westbound 70, Kings Highway out through Jennings Station, a couple of slow spots at the airport, 94 through Zumbel, 79 through Highway K, then it's not so bad. Westbound 44 is a little busy. Laclede Station, Elm. Southbound 55 still have that incident in the right lane just south of Arsenal. It's jammed back to Gravois. Then it's just slow at Bates. Still kind of slow Z down through McNutt. Westbound 44 delays downtown between the bridges as well. I'm Roger Brand at the Michaels Flooring Outlet.com Traffic Center.
This report is sponsored by McKelvey Homes.
Hi, I'm Jim Brennan at McKelvey Homes. Have you always wished for a brand new home in an established neighborhood? Select one of our move-in ready custom homes throughout St. Louis, or we will build on your lot. Visit McKelveyHomes.com and move up to McKelvey.
Red Kingdom is back at FanDuel Sports Network Live in Ballpark Village. See every game on the largest screen in town. Don't forget about the $25 buckets, $5 cocktails, and the best tailgate food around. Grab your friends along with Kingdom OX and huddle up for the games at the best watch party in town. If you can't make it, but don't want to miss a down, listen to the Chiefs on Kingdom OX or Kingdom OX on the Odyssey app. For more info, KingdomOX.com/events.
So I'm kind of a weird guy, as you know. When I go places I haven't been, even fun places like a new restaurant, or back in the days when I used to travel and, go to resorts and things like that, I always wanted the most information I could get. And if you're like that, let me tell you, rather than being hyperbolic about Mike and Michael's Flooring, been with me for 24 years, here's what it's like. So 3 locations, and they couldn't be more flooring stores. They're not huge. They're not small. They're not opulent. They're not threadbare. They're flooring stores. They look exactly like flooring stores. You go in, there'll be more people working than are there probably because they're well staffed. Hi, how are you? Anything I can help you with? I would lead with, I heard about you on the DGS because for a quarter century now, most of their leads have come from this show. So they're going to roll out the red carpet, no pun, but they're not going to bother you. They're not going to chase you. They're not going to follow you. But when it comes time to say, you know what, I'm interested in this. I'm interested in the middle of the road, Coronet, Berber, XYZ. They'll give you their actual opinion, which another thing I love. I love going to a restaurant. Hey, what's good on the menu tonight? Chef really likes the halibut. So to me, it's the best way to shop. No one's going to hover, but no one's going to ignore. You can find the closest of the 3 locations to you by going to michaelsflooringoutlet.com.
Cold weather is coming, and HeatUpSt.org needs your help now. Your dollars can help keep the heat on for Missouri and Illinois veterans and families struggling with high utility bills. Donate today at HeatUpSt.Louis.org or drop a check to Heat Up St. Louis at any area Commerce Bank.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9834. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9834. That's 800-575-9834. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Discover the life you want at Fairwinds River's Edge in St. Charles. We deliver a life-enhancing environment that nourishes the mind, body, and spirit as residents lean into joy and embrace purpose in a new age of senior living. Simply put, we have your back so you can put your best foot forward. Join us Wednesday, December 3rd for our holiday craft fair, followed by happy hour with BB Boomers. Visit Fairwinds River's Edge on Facebook to learn more.
This month's Siteman Cancer Center Spotlight, we are discussing breast cancer with Dr. Debbie Bennett.
It's a great reminder to take care of yourself. I think people are so busy throughout the year taking care of everybody else. Seeing all the pink around in October is a really excellent time to take a step back and make sure that you are here to continue taking care of everybody else for a very long time.
Thanks to Siteman Cancer Center, national leaders in cancer. For more information, visit siteman.wustl.edu.
Tonight on my side. Welcome back, DGS 352. Happy Friday Eve. We're on a couple sciencey things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
New study says that humans learn better at night.
I agree.
And we learn better when we're tired. Yeah.
Less
It
barriers?
somehow like breaks down a barrier.
I was gonna say less barriers.
Yeah.
Maybe your brain's a little less active
Yes.
outside of that thing you're focusing
And
on.
they went into the whole like dopamine, lysine, like they
Okay.
have actual reasons for it.
Yeah.
But all day you're churning this stuff out in your brain, and then when you settle down and you get quiet, and even when you get a little sleepy, your brain is evidently more open and malleable to new information.
Huh. So all-nighters are good is what I'm hearing when you're getting ready for an exam.
Maybe. Yeah.
Well, only to a degree, though, because you will always cross that barrier where it's not helping.
Yeah. Also, the new prevailing theory is that Neanderthals never really went extinct. They still live on in us, and that we are a hybrid species. It's not just that, hey, you know something cool? Most humans, other than sub-Saharan Africans, have 2% of Neanderthal blood. It's it's 98 to 2, but we're still a hybrid species. It's kind of interesting.
That's neat.
Some of us are a little more than 2%.
Hey.
Not looking at anybody
Just because I'm
in
short
particular.
and wide and aggressive.
You could walk into a Neanderthal camp right now.
They'd be like, Blowbore.
Yeah.
They'd elect him king.
Like, me, friend of Larry. They're like, sit down, friend of Larry. You're awfully big for a Neanderthal.
Ooh, this says that they are prone to depression. Maybe I'm one of the Neanderthals too.
Hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
Nope,
Why
nope.
not?
Kevin? That rules you out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not all of them, though.
Neanderthals were full of whimsy.
Yeah. Oh, see, we cavemen didn't do whimsy.
I feel bad for the ones who did. There's a guy who's like, I made you a necklace of daisies, and they're like,
We just told him, hey,
They
listen,
were
dude,
probably
go.
out on an island.
We were
on
just
that
telling
one.
him, go paint a cave.
Thank you, Janelle. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Tell you guys about Triton Exteriors, and I can tell you that Tim, the owner, I think most businesses, most ventures kind of, take their cue from the top down, and Tim deserves the credit and he deserves the blame, and he will take the blame if you are unhappy with the customer service at Triton Exteriors. Tim is special and unique, I believe, in the exteriors business, at least here in St. Louis, because he was not an exteriors guy. He was not a construction guy. He was a restaurant guy. And so you learn in the restaurant business, especially the upper end steakhouse kind of restaurant business, that the answer is always yes. What's the question? Customer's always right. And just lying to you, or even little white lies or bluff,